Hello and welcome to another episode of the Untitled Podcast. I think we're on episode 13 now, or 14. I could be wrong. I don't really keep track all that much, or all that well, I should say. The last episode we had Louis Trilogy, a prolific artist who, kind of just mainly does rock, electronic music, and just a lot of other things really. Uh Today we have another prolific artist, mainly in the sphere of vaporwave, plunderphonics, having this very unique style as well as being very inspired by Christ and other internet style artists, I guess you could say. I don't really know how to explain it all that much, but uh our guest today is none other than 4departing4. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up, Timmy boy?
So there has been a moment in one of the previous podcast episodes where a member, that being Just Mix, said that, 4departing4 should be someone who should be on the podcast. So there we are.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that is that see in this album I released called Phrases, which I hope Timmy boy listened to. He said he did. You know, you can't trust him at his word, but I hope he does. Hope he did. Yeah, I actually sampled that moment as the intro for a song. You would know all about that, Timmy boy, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Okay, so I am like, and this is kind of like an inside joke between you, me, and like other people who usually like talk to each other. But this
Mhm.
has been like I guess, an inside joke sort of thing where I keep on like glazing you and your music, mainly from Just Mix, because I still think that you're a very underrated artist. Like it's almost criminal that people aren't really like noticing a lot of your work, which is kind of just like, man, I don't really know. But yeah. But back to the phrases comment. Yes, I did listen to phrases, and I was actually gonna kind of talk about that later on. So, but we got some questions here that I'm gonna ask you.
For sure.
Yeah, and then after that, we're just gonna talk as per usual. So yeah. So one of the first questions I want to ask you is, how did you start getting into vaporwave as both a fan and a producer?
You got the hard ones first, huh? So, like, I think my first entrance to it was when I was like 8, and I was watching that like Watch Mojo video of Vaporwave. You know, the one with like the title, like the thumbnail, like the like Eminem on it, and like the Chrysler, like the crosses were. And so like I watched that, I'm like, wow, this Macintosh Plus guy is really cool. How come nobody knows about him? And then like I like listened to the album and I saw it had like 8.1 million views, and I was like, man, I could do that. So it took me like a couple of years. I was like 12 when I decided to actually like release my like first album. I made it on like CapCut. And I was like, yeah, this one's doing numbers. It's when I first found out like Signal Wave and Vaporwave like at the same time. And I listened to a lot of not Christ like at the time, but I listened to a lot of like Mac Plus, News at 11, like those two albums mainly. Your Local Broadcast by Sunset Inc. Those are like really influential at like when I was beginning. And then like when I got into like Christ, and I was like, wow, this Holy Ghost song is really banging. I want to know how he made that. You know, like he made an album. I'm like, oh wow, he made an album. Like he made multiple albums. Like I was like, wow, like just like binging all of his stuff, like listening to it. It was really cool. Um, yeah, that's basically how I got into it, just by like listening to the albums and like thinking I could make stuff like that as well.
That's awesome, bro. I feel like it's kind of I wouldn't say it's like exactly the same when it comes to me. I think it's more so just how I, discovered vaporwave and just enjoyed it. But this was, again, I've said this multiple times. This was before I was ever that passionate about music, and it wasn't until uh later in my lifetime, I think around 2021 or 2022, where I was passionate about music, but I discovered or listened to I'll Try Living Like This by the Dynamic Shroud. And at that point, I wasn't really all that interested in making it still, I would say, until a bit later down the line. But I think that's like it's I'm sure that's like a lot, if not all, of like vaporwave artists. It's like, I've discovered this artist, I could do that, and just kind of experimenting their like whole style, which is kind of a good segue into this next question actually. How did you start experimenting and developing the sound of yours, considering that no one seems to kind of replicate the style that you have, where you're kind of sampling a lot of emo artists, or have sampled other vaporwave artists and making more kind of house or trap inspired songs with them.
Okay, that's a hard one too. But
I'm sorry.
basically, no, bro, like the hard ones are the good ones. Um, basically, I was first making music on Audacity, and like all I could really do was like, how do I say this, like fade samples into each other, and I thought that was like super boring. And so I'm like looking it up, and I found this program called Virtual DJ 21, and I'm like, wow, this sounds great. I wish I could do this by hand so I could get like all the chops that I wanted and like the sample flips that I wanted. And so I finally invested in FL Studio, and I was like, wow, this is great. But like everybody else who gets FL Studio, it looks like an airplane cockpit. So I didn't open it for like 6 months, and then one day I'm like, maybe I should figure this stuff out because it looks pretty easy. And I made my first FL song. I was trying to replicate, of course, Christ at the time. I was trying to replicate Christ, but since I was like new to FL, I was bad at it. And I was like, this is kind of ass. I'm gonna put it out anyway, so that in the future I can see how far I advanced. And what ended up happening was like I listened to like American football LP1, and I'm like, wow, it sounds great. And so I started like trying to sample stuff from that, and I realized that hey, nobody else is doing this. I'm gonna like put my first thing out, and it's gonna be called Sayings. It's just gonna be like a bunch of emo music. I was inspired by verse self never met verse self yesterday, the aura song, probably know it. um and I was like, wow, I could make a remix of that, and I made my first like slightly emo wave with like this album called Don't Go Outside. um then I transitioned into full emo with like sayings and stuff like that. And so basically, like the sound just comes from me being bad at like FL Studio. And so like when you're bad at it, you just make what you can. So I ended up making what I could and sampling music that I actually liked, and that's kind of how I ended up here.
That's amazing. So, like, Sayings was your first ever like full like sort of emo wave style that you coined yourself from right now?
Yeah, this first one.
That's that's actually, I personally haven't checked out that album as yet. I've only checked out Phrases, which is that like the last part of like, is it gonna be some sort of like trilogy, or is there gonna be like more like emo wave albums kind of connected to each other?
Mm. College dropout, late registration, graduation.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a good ass job. Maybe I'll make like a maybe I'll make like a like a phrases too.
Yeah,
But
because
the phrases took like 2 months, so not
yeah,
anytime soon.
yeah, and I know that you didn't release anything in 2 months from what I know, so you decided to release a whole 2 hour and 30 minute album, that being Phrases. So, which I think we're gonna kind of come back to that later down the questions. I'm so sorry for talking this bad, but anyways, the next one is kind of your inspirations. Of course, you are very inspired by Christ and emo, but I just want to know if there's any other inspirations that you have.
Oh yeah, for sure. You guys, like everybody in the server, I listen to your stuff. I listen to the music you make. I listen to everybody's and like Signal and like Christ and like what you guys make. I'm like, wow, sounds great. Sounds more professional. Like we're in like the same spot. We're basically at the same place. So like I try to replicate you guys' style and like take influences from y'all. But yeah, I'm really only influenced by the artists that I like around me. I listen to a little bit of DDS that you've been mentioning, which you always mention, but I listen to a little bit of them. I listen to a little bit of netbooks.world. Shout out to him. It's pretty cool. Um, and other than that, I think that was about it. I wouldn't like, of course, like yeah, like Saint Pepsi, Cat System, um, VCR Classic, like all the greats, all the classics, all the
Mega Thrust.
yeah, all the originals. And so like I try to replicate them. Big one was Pocket Monsters Middle School. I think that's released on Photoshop, their record. Shout out to them, they're really cool. And so yeah, like basically just like the artists like around me really.
That's actually really sweet. Actually, I don't think there's been much people who were kind of inspired by the people kind of around them. to my knowledge, but I think that's actually very like wholesome and just sweet overall. So a next one, I think this we have talked about this, considering like how you produce, but why do you have so many projects? Like why are you this prolific? Was it just like an idea? It was like, you know what, I'm gonna make this much albums, or like what's the deal with that?
Listen. Like, no shade to anybody, but low key, Signal Wave, bro. Signal Wave, like, yeah, Signal Wave was just crazy, bro. Because Signal Wave is just like it's so straightforward, bro. You get your samples, put it in like you put it in Audacity, slow it down, add a phaser, add some reverb, and it was just like dang, I made like a whole like hour long album, and I sat here for like a day or so, and like that was crazy. So I used to have like an actual like schedule, sort of kind of every 2 weeks I would make an album. Then I slowed down because I started making like bigger albums with more of like production value. And I slowed down even more. Now it's like an album every month. And even then, so it's basically just like you get better, you want to do more stuff, so it takes more time, basically.
Real. That's real. And even with this like new style that you developed, and or should I say new styles, because of course you're not only sticking to the emo wave style, but you do use virtual DJ with like projects like Home, New Creation, Net Vista. You still choose to be so prolific no matter how long it takes you.
Well, yeah, man, because like, you know, people don't listen to it. I'm gonna be honest with you, people don't listen to it. I mean,
Yeah,
we know we covered it when we began, but I like making it. I think it sounds good sometimes. Usually right after it's released, it sounds terrible, but I think when I'm making it, it sounds good.
doing it for
And
the love of the
so
game.
you're right, bro. You listen back to it. I could improve that, and then you improve it. You add new stuff. You add some new stuff, and it sounds bad. I could improve that. And that's maybe like the loop. Like, that's what the loop that's in right now. Little sneak peek. I'm on virtual DJ making like a home follow up again.
Let's go.
So yeah,
Home house and probably like condo, homeless.
not homeless.
Yes. All right. How do you choose on what type of project you want to make in terms of sound or genre? Because again, with how prolific you are, you choose to kind of jump between styles. With even one of your albums that came out this year, I Had Dreams, which is an album I keep on recommending to people. That is just like a mix and mash, like of like different styles that you kind of experimented with the whole virtual DJ beat grid style, with the emo wave, with sampling other vaporwave artists.
So how do I say this? When damn. Got me there, man. So basically, like when I finish an album, it takes a long time of me definitely not playing games and hanging out with my friends to choose what album I want to make. Usually, I'll get the idea in the middle of making an album. So, like, I'll get the idea, hey, I don't like doing this. I'm gonna make, like, for example, let's say, like, I'm gonna make like shoegaze now. So like sample shoegaze. I'm gonna make sample shoegaze now. So I'll like download some samples that I think are cool, and then I'll revisit them once the album's done. Basically, that's what I do. But usually I take like a gap week just to enjoy myself and take a break after like working, and then I'll get right back to it. Because to me, it's fun. It's work, but it's fun.
All right, kind of going off that now, is there like a favorite sort of style in terms of like its sound or how you produce it? From like
Mm.
your emo wave, your again, I just whatever's on I Have Dreams, as well as your you called it signal wave or signal gaze, where you just sampled shoegaze and just slowed them down and add other effects to it and make them more distorted.
Favorite style. I don't think I have a favorite style. Usually, it's my if you ask me the question, my favorite is whatever I'm working on at the time. You're just gonna have to be like in the. I don't think I have like a set favorite one. Otherwise, I'd just be spamming that.
So just in the moment.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's sick. That's sick. Um, any style you wish to tackle for future projects is like kind of going back to like experimentation. Is there anything that you are working on that you think is could this is like some sort of like quote unquote new era of for departing for?
Mm. I'm thinking about. being like unoriginal and like everybody else and actually making like future funk, which don't tell anyone, but some people recommended me that I should make future funk and
Okay.
maybe some Core, but maybe Core, but probably those two. But for right now, it's just virtual DJ.
Yeah. And I think I've only recommended you to, like, go and do, one or two of those styles, like, once, because I know you definitely do have the skill set to go through to actually kinda achieve that, in my personal opinion, so not to
Thank
mention.
you.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying thank you, bro. 'Cause
Oh,
I
no.
definitely don't think I can make those times.
You'll try. If you don't succeed, then at least you tried. But even with the, because I know you kinda talked about, uh, WWW, like, Crisis album, and how I don't know if you, like, fuck with that style, or is it kinda like, what's your opinion on that sort of style that Chris went on for the album?
Hmm. I think WWW is like, how do I say this? I like it. Okay, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I think, in my humble opinion, Christ needs to like get a man or something, bro. He needs to be on all. He needs to be off the internet, bro. It's been enough. Like I'm on the internet all the time, albums, bro. We get it, but like no, for real. I think I think that like albums like WWW, I like them, but I feel like I've heard it before. Like
Yeah.
when I make something new, I want to be like you've heard it before. Even if it's good. Like think about like the people in like the 1700s ancient times listening to like Mozart, right?
Mhm.
Like you hear Mozart the first time, you're blown away. You also cut off his ears, like your ears for it, like or whatever. You think it's just so great, it's just so amazing. But imagine them. Imagine walking down the street hearing Mozart for the first time, and then walking down the street hearing Mozart for the second time and the third time. Like it gets to a point, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just get it's repetitive. Like so, try to stay away from that. That's why I like switch it up every time. One, because I don't like doing the same style over and over and over. And two, um, it keeps the people who are listening like not on their toes, but like actually interested. Because oh, what is he gonna do next? So
The
basically it's just like
unpredictability.
yeah, yeah. Basically it's just like a way of like engaging, like to maintain engagement. The little that I have, I like to maintain it, and like switch it up every once in a while.
Yeah, I hear you. Um, I feel like this should have been, like, a obvious question, especially in, I guess, just how you sometimes used to, like, sample yourself or, like, kinda your friends, but is there anything personal or sentimental about any of the projects that you've released so far?
Oh, that's a great one. So I'm only gonna list like three because all of them have like some sentimental values to me.
Mhm.
For one, phrases is just about me. It's just like a big cope fest about me not being able to see my old friends again. And like some have moved away, some have gone to college, some just don't fuck with me anymore like that. But we can't talk about that. But like basically just me like not having my old friend groups and like all the people I hang out with moving away and like I don't know, I'm just kind of like a fuller friend. It's just like a me like a coping album, me like just complaining about being like a fuller friend, floater friend, right? And
Yeah.
so like I named it phrases because these are all things that either I've said or I've heard people say that I thought would be funny names for songs. And it's kind of like that Midwest emo thing where they name it something stupid.
Mhm.
Like I left my towel at my friend's house and she moved. Like that's an actual name of like a mom June song. I think it's stupid and I think it's funny and like sarcastic. And I'm gonna like emulate that without actually being good at guitar. So basically, another one that you've listened to, I had James was basically I wanted to make something like professional. Basically, I just wanted to make something professional. I wanted to be like professional and like my my girl had just broken up with me. And so I wanted to make something like sort of kind of sentimental and actually good and like actually put some effort into it, right? Put some elbow grease into it, you know what I mean? And make something that works. Now listening back to it, I don't like it. I think I could have improved on some things, but you know, like at the time, it's just like a way to get your emotions out.
Mhm.
Now for the third one, um, home. these just don't happen to be ones that you're listening to. I didn't make home at home. I made it. I was out on this college trip, and so in between like classes and like activities, I would be working on the album, and I put it out just because I kind of like miss being at home, bro. So I named it Home, and it went with House, and then like it worked. And I think Home is actually a great sort of kind of what was Hydroplane saying? Post internet albums, I guess
Yeah,
that's what we're calling it now.
yeah,
I think that would qualify, barely qualify, but I think that would qualify as one. And so it's basically just like how I feel at the moment. It's like when I base my albums on. But yeah, those are the three.
yeah. Kind of going back to what you were saying about how you didn't really like or fuck with I Had Dreams. I feel like there's some sort of charm because if I'm being honest, you definitely kind of strayed away from having some sort of, let's say, for lack of a better term, amateurish or maybe just unprofessional sort of sound. Where, not saying that I Had Dreams doesn't sound professional or whatever the case is, but it's more so like how you like evolved in that emo wave, or just like the style that you're like used to making. There's like a lot more. I think the mix like on phrases is like kind of similar to what was on I Had Dreams, but there's just something about it that actually sounds a lot more like you can definitely tell that there's some sort of like evolution going on when it comes to your style.
Yeah, that's kind of what was happening. So for let's say like the first tracks, this is for anybody listening. Go listen to I Had Dreams. It's on Spotify.
Please
But
do.
for basically like what ended up happening is like I kind of figured out like I kind of found my groove like in the middle of the album, and that's why midway it sort of kind of switches to like emo, and then back to like plunder, and then emo again, and then back to plunder, and then emo, and like I switched between it. Uh, P.S. I was lazy, but I switched between it not because I was a lazy fuck and I should have just gotten like original plunder samples, but because like there's no reason to make an album about every idea I have, right? And if you do that, then you end up with a massive discography that no one wants to listen to. And I'm already halfway there. So I figured putting all my ideas that I had into one album would be a really good idea. And so that's what ended up happening, basically.
Yeah. So can
That's why
say
you hear that like,
yeah. So there's like three questions I have now, like from what you were saying, and one of them has to do with like the post internet sort of stuff, right? That Ian kind of coined, as well as there's one label that actually literally goes by post internet. But what's your whole opinion on it as a whole? I guess you could have some sort of like similar like opinions on it when you kind of talks about WWW. But is there like any other album that have something similar that you kind of like better than WWW? Like, what's the case?
probably New Moons by Christ. Probably New Moons. I like New Moons a lot.
That's
And
okay.
so my opinions on like the whole post internet thing as a whole, I'm gonna be a little bit of a hypocrite. People need to go outside. Bruh, I like post internet albums, okay? Every album does not need to have a white background with four pictures or two pictures on top, layered in like a slideshow style with your logo underneath. And everything does not have to be about you being online. Bro, please go outside and find inspirations from like nature or like I don't know, exploration or something, bro. I like post internet, but it's like if you listen to Midwest emo all the time, you're gonna be sad. And if you listen to post internet all the time, you're gonna be like a that's the best way to phrase this.
Chronically
Like an
Online.
uppity emo nerd. Yeah, it's gonna be like chronically online uppity emo nerd. I get that there's like a bunch of furries making and like a bunch of nerds making music in their room, like on their like FO Studios or Ableton, shout out Nakora. And it's like the way like whatever you do, like whatever you like express yourself as, usually is gonna go under post internet if you like apply by those terms. But like I hope it's not like everyone's doing post internet. Oh, we're all chronically online, bro. It's not a flex. I promise you it's not a flex.
That's real. I think. Oh, I kind of lost my train of thought when I was kind of listening to, because I forgot the other two questions. This is embarrassing. Hold on.
You're good, bro. Happens to me all the time.
Okay, let me think for a bit, and if they don't come back, I'm just gonna say fucking like go back to like the original questions.
All right. More ranting from my part about post internet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I think post internet albums like what is that thing called? What is it called, dude? Like literally, what is it called? Because I haven't favorited. It's like in and out something, bro.
Video
Let me
in
find it
out
real quick. Yes, video in out,
by
and I'm
Toby.
trying to listen to. Yes, bro. First of all, why is the emotional damage guy on the cover, and then like three furries? But that's like it's neither here or there. I listened a little bit to it, and it's like a lot of like hard, like super rough listening, like a super rough listening thing. And I like, how do I say this? I think like post internet music, it's like a weird genre. Cause what do you mean post internet, bro? The internet didn't end. It's not like post rock, where it's like it was like a big rock boom, and then like post rock is like emo. It's like the internet is still here, bro. It's like people are still making weird music online. People are still making weird music online because you're online and like you're making like, they got influences from everywhere, right? So like I think that as a genre, this isn't me just nitpicking the name. Like as a genre, it doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
I think we should classify the albums as like what they literally are and not just like label them under like post internet. Because I feel like that happens with like signal wave and things like that too. And like vaporwave is like, well, you start off vaporwave, but there's like a million branches to the stupid vapor tree, bro. I think I think we should call like the albums what they actually are. I don't know if this would be like harsh noise, if that's a genre of an album. Like in the chorus thing is like there's like drone, like not echo, just like drone and like
Just like
ele-
very like like IDM and shit like that.
yeah, like IDM. Well, they're transitioning to IDM. They're, no pun intended. They're transitioning to IDM, and
God, shut up, bro.
and they're in like ambient and like I like ambient. I like a little bit of ambient, but I think we should just call it ambient. Like you don't need to call it like post like internet. Can be called post internet since we're calling it that, but I feel like it's more like like Euro like drum and bass like Euro like half house like
Mhm.
vapor like remix like things like that. I don't think we have to call it like post internet like as a blanket like a blanket like genre because we already have a blanket genre. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
um I think you know to wait, okay. Wait, hold on. I just want to kind of form my words before I actually say them, before I say anything stupid or just fumble. But for to be honest, right?
Mm,
The same kind of goes with all the other sort of genres, like post rock, post punk. Hell, some people even use post rap when it comes to experimental hip hop. Of course, those genres still hasn't like died out, and to be honest, I'm sure a lot of people would say that they're not going to die out anytime soon. It's just that it's more so kind of focusing on the actual kind of like the experimentation of the
yeah.
genres. But when it comes to post internet isn't a genre. That's just kind of like, well, of course the internet, but also when it comes to like vaporwave, kind of using that to some sort of like aesthetic, especially when looking at again a lot of Christ albums or even something like Mousetrap ins. I've always hated the internet, which is a good like sample based album that came out this year. Just thought I had to shout him out. Um
Mm,
even though he doesn't count it as vaporwave, Who Are You People by Ron the Void. Um I don't think this would necessarily count. This is something that I have listened to today along with like WebDriver and Who Are You People, but um Billion Dollar Minds The Vision, which is kind of more so kind of focusing on like different sort of like styles of like vapor trap, just regular old like plunderphonics, or just kind of, I don't really know how to explain it. I personally need to like check the album out again. I was actually hoping to re-listen to it tonight. But yeah. But kind of going towards the sort of like plunderphonics name specifically, I know you have had your kind of opinion on the whole name of plunderphonics, which you kind of, oh, sorry to cut you off. Which you kind of
no, no, I was just breathing random. Okay.
I'm sorry. But you kind of talked about how you don't really fuck with the term plunderphonics all that much. Or from what I remember.
Yeah, I think like Plunderphonics is like a blanket statement, and it encapsulates a lot of music that uses samples. And I
Mhm.
get like it would technically apply to almost everything in this fucking scene, but like I feel like Plunderphonics and like damn it implies like heavy like editing, like Signal Wave is like a little editing, Vaporwave is like a little more than signal editing. Like I feel like Plunderphonics is like just a blanket term that no one checks out because it encapsulates like a huge thing. So you don't really have like a chance to shine if you're counting yourself as like a Plunderphonics artist. Like there's this guy called I Cut Myself. I cut myself, which no, it's not about self-harm. He takes like a lot of samples. I mean like a lot of samples from like videos and like makes them say stupid sentences like it's a YTP or something. And like it's essentially like he hasn't uploaded in like 9 years, but it's essentially like actual plunderphonics, like actually like using different samples and like making new things with it. Not even like music half the time. It's just like YTPs. I feel like plunderphonics is a blanket statement, and there's like vapor in that stupid tree, and there's like signal in that tree, and like all the stupid stuff I made up in that tree, and like a lot of genres in that tree of plunderphonics. So calling an album plunderphonics sort of kind of lessens the blow it could have had like when you drop it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't like the term like of plunderphonics when like making something or like having to qualify kind of like call an album something. I usually stay away from calling it that. I'm still gonna put it as that, when push comes to shove, because what if there's some like stuck up white rich guy who's like buying Plunderphonics albums because it's just better than normal music, man. But like I'm just like I'd rather call it like vapor or what it is, like emo wave or like shoegaze or not shoegaze or like shoe wave or like synth, like what it actually is basically. Just I'd rather call it what it actually is and not just Plunderphonics.
Yeah. You tend to like when it comes to like your shoegaze style, it's kind of more so like a just a slowed and reverb or like chopped and screwed. I feel like calling it slowed and reverb is kind of more of a like a diss or kind of a an insult to that sort of style. But I want to say like chopped and screwed, but it's not. There's not a lot of like chopping going on. When kind of looking at projects like Series or Wishing 2002, which I haven't listened to yet, but I have skimmed through his.
Yeah. Series is excuse me, I'm sorry. I
His
had
man.
some sort of um series is like series was like my first attempt at like this stupid weird like mashup of like signal wave and shoegaze. That was like my first attempt at it. I was not new to Audacity, but I wasn't good at Audacity. And um the way it worked out was as you told me, very clipping, very loud, but I kind of like how it's really like low quality, not low quality, like low. What am I looking for? You
Low
know the word
effort.
I'm looking. Not low effort, not low effort. Like the way the music sounds.
It's just lo-fi, low
Yeah,
fidelity.
like lo-fi, like low rate, like low bit rate, like type of
Yeah.
music, like crush, like distorted, like that. And it's supposed to be like it's supposed to be like you ever like queue up for like Thug Pro or like not Thug Pro, like Thug 2 or like Tony Hawk, and it's like late at night and you're playing the game and like the stupid like drum and bass comes on. It's supposed to be like what if you were like about to fall asleep and like you heard like this stupid like Thug Pro music like in the background, like Thug 2 or like Thug
Yeah.
1, like Tony Hawk. It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like playing your Xbox late at night and like falling asleep or like just gaming basically. That's why
You
I like the
call
cartoon background.
Yeah, you called it a soundtrack, to like, I forgot the whole like Bandcamp bio for the album, but I know you called it a soundtrack to like playing skate throughs or like playlist, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah. Yeah, I call it a playlist. Basically just because I didn't edit the songs that heavily, aside from like, like the bit rate and like slow it down, like
Yeah.
reverb and like all that jazz. So I call it a playlist to like get all the people who don't listen to Vapor into it, and it like genuinely worked, bro. Cause it had like 800. I'm not saying that everything I do for an album is just to get in more views. And I'm just saying it like it
Of course.
worked, like like it worked, man.
Yeah, of course. Because I know there's been like a lot of people who just take other people's music, slow it down, and just get popular on fucking like TikTok and shit like that. But the fact that you called it a playlist and or soundtrack is actually a lot more kind of, I guess, respectful, if that makes sense in a way. Because if you're
Yeah,
calling it like an album, then you would definitely put a lot more effort into it as opposed to just slowing it down and adding filters over it, right? Because at that
yeah,
point, you're kind of stealing. And maybe some people would say it was still stealing, right? But hey, that's neither here or there. It's more so the fact that you didn't really consider it to be all that much of a album, just more so just a playlist or a soundtrack to like playing Skate or playing Tony Hawk in the middle of the night or just having like cartoons on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon in the background when you're going to sleep.
yeah. And like, hmm, what happened was people people in the Vapor scene, because I was still in Vapor, not like Signal that much.
Yeah.
People in the Vapor scene are not old, okay,
Mhm.
but they are older than me.
Yeah. There
And
it well,
so
to start to cut you off, but there's still like a lot of old people in the vapor scene though.
yeah, of course, bro. I think like hash is like 41, bro. But like, like that means like in general, like there's people who think vaporwave is the 90s, right?
Mhm.
And this is my idea, like making all the stupid like series, wishing 2002, all the 2008, like all those albums. People see vaporwave as the 90s, right? That's their nostalgia, it's like 90s cartoons. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of new people getting into the scene. At Wawa, at me, bro. Yours truly. Who didn't I see people walking around like Tamagotchis. I didn't see people walking around with like just stupid pink square and yellow triangle glasses, bro. And no, I didn't held a Game Boy as my main game. Like I didn't grow up in the 90s. So I think I think I think I think people need to make more albums representative of if they're doing nostalgia, people need to make more albums of like the actual nostalgia from their
Mhm.
genuine childhood. Like people need to stop doing like, oh, oh, I'm vaporwave, oh, I make future funk, and it's like 90s stuff, bro. Because
Yeah.
it's not nostalgia. It's just you making the genre. You know what I mean? Like when you make a genre of like future funk, it's supposed to be or like house or like for example like straight to VHS by Fiji Days, Fiji yeah Fiji. Dang, I think I messed her name up, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Um, like that's supposed to be like like luxury league. Like that's supposed to be like nostalgic of a time that they were born in, but not nostalgic of a time that people coming into the scene like I was are necessarily born in. I know there's not a lot of like like 25, 30, 40-year olds in like same wave, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a bunch of teenagers, why are we making music about nostalgia of an era we weren't even born in, bro? Like actually make like nostalgia albums about things you're nostalgic about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So basically, it's just like representative of like actual times people were living in, and it blew up. Not it is like I call it a playlist because it's like representative of what I did because I didn't do that much, so it's basically like a playlist. But
Yeah.
um, it's just like I can't believe like I don't think I'm the only person to do it. I'm sure there's some like ancient hidden community on Reddit of a guy who made a single gaze album 20 years ago about like things actually from like the past, like things people don't talk about. And that's why in the names of like series, which I don't know if you read, I know you didn't like the like production value on it, but I have it of what's on screen. So if you follow like the screen, it will usually be what showed up a few minutes before or like a couple minutes after or at that exact point. And so it's like of like commercials that like people actually watching, like people like things we actually did like as like kids, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like it was like actual like nostalgia basically. So that's what's like amazing about that.
So would you say that's like the main signal wave sort of like element, considering that if you're listening to the project on its own, it's not necessarily signal wave because there's not any use of like commercial samples or anything. It's just mainly like visuals if you're actually watching the visual album.
Yeah, I tend to get a lot of my are you asking like are the samples actually from the 2000s and not just like the visuals?
I'm not talking no, I'm not asking that because I know that they're like I know the commercials are from that time, the 2000s, and I'm not really necessarily caring about when the original songs came out with the samples. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of more so focusing on how you call it a signal wave album, despite there not really being any elements of
Uh
signal wave.
oh, I'm sorry. I
It's
misunderstood the
fine.
question completely. That's my
It's
bad.
fine.
You said this before,
Yes.
and I think instead of actually addressing your point, I called you a nerd. And you're still a nerd.
Yes.
But um I call it signal wave because of the production. Like I know
Mm,
signal wave is generally um like old-timey first broadcasting radio. I picked this channel up on my guitar amp and this like the actual station's 50 miles away in the
yeah.
1980s or like 1970s, like signal wave, bro.
Yeah.
And while that's true, there's a lot of signal wave albums that sample new stuff. So I figured this would be one of those that sample new stuff and like the production and like how it sounds is representative of signal wave,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay. To cut you off there. First off, my apologies. Second, I kind of want to take back what I said now looking at it because, you know, uh there's tend to be a lot of signal wave or broken transmission albums that actually don't really necessarily sample commercials because I know that signal wave exactly signal wave isn't necessarily like commercials exclusively. It can be just from different broadcasts that includes both radio transmissions or even no, I don't think that counts as a signal wave. I think that counts as like Mallsoft. I was gonna reference and yet another album I haven't listened to yet, Power PCME's Kmart 19 whatever the years are. But like it's more so Mallsoft anyways, but that is kind of like a hypocrite is sort of thing that I kind of did considering that I've listened to a lot of Signal Wave albums. And despite them not having commercials or anything like that, I still call them Signal Wave or at the very least late night lo-fi. Hell, I've made my own Signal Wave albums or projects that, doesn't necessarily sample commercials or at least doesn't have recognizable commercials or anything like that. So I kind of want to apologize.
You're good, bro. I know signal wave often samples commercials,
Yeah.
and can I keep it up? But I think TS is so boring, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
you literally have
gen
I'm sorry, continue, I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, bro?
I was gonna say you have an album that literally calls Vaporwave Sucks. I haven't listened to it, it is long as hell, but you literally have an album that's called Vaporwave Sucks too, so
I was pretentious, bro. Ignore that one. Ignore that one. That's just me
yes.
messing around on virtual DJ. That's just me being pretentious, bro. But like basically, um, instead of sampling commercials, I made like the YouTube video like have the commercials in the background and shout out to so many channels that just have hours and hours of cartoon commercials.
Real.
Because if I had to gather every one of those stupid commercials for like an hour-long album, I would kill myself. I'm not doing that. But essentially, I made the commercials the video instead of the samples
Mhm.
because let's say like early 20s, you listen to music and then do stuff, right? And the music you listen to isn't the commercial, it's whatever you're playing. So if you have the TV on the background or you're playing a game, you're not listening to the commercials. And I think like the thing of sampling commercials is The thing like sampling commercials is I don't think it qualifies as music. I think there's like a lot of things where like there's like a music in the commercial, like you like creatively sample a commercial, like make it a song or something. Like that's actually good. But listening to someone talk about a product that you couldn't like, that was maybe available for purchase 30 years ago, I don't think that counts as music per se. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, I know there's like a lot of weird genres and guys screaming into the microphone calling it death metal. People pooping on the toilet and putting like oh for guitar and make like calling that like death metal or like slam metal or whatever. But like people going out in the fields like recording in the fields, like I get like how that's music, you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's like field recording that's ambient.
yeah,
People people like slamming on a good like slamming on a drum, right? Drum? Slamming on a drum, like a snare drum, and like screaming. I get how that's music. It's like there's something to listen to, but it's just someone talking. If I wanted to listen to somebody talking about stuff I can't buy, I would just I would watch an Ashton Hall podcast, bro. Like genuine, like genuine.
Lord have mercy. Yeah,
But basically, yeah, that's like I made the commercials the video. That was my alternative.
yeah. I think that's actually like a. I feel like visual like albums are underrated. Even I myself don't really tend to want to like watch them. Not to say that they're bad or anything. I think they're very interesting, but I just don't watch them personally. Especially with someone who tends to put out a lot of visual albums like Helios the Vaporwave Elf. I don't even know if
Mm.
they're continuing that, but they tend to like put out a shit ton of visual albums. Some people might not like them, some people do fuck with them. I just appreciate that they're actually putting in the effort to make a lot of visuals for albums. So even if they don't tend to have the original source of the samples used in the album, they at least still want to try and make something similar. So I definitely fuck with that.
Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, basically. Do you have any other questions, bro?
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of I have like two more questions, right? But I think there's like
Mm.
I think I kind of want to kind of still because we were kind of talking about signal wave, right? There is
Yeah.
kind of like taking samples and like kind of shortening them or like looking for one specific part and kind of making them into some sort of into like computer gaze, making them like a loop based ambient sort of thing. A example of this that you're tired of hearing of, I know for a fact, is um Before We Pair by Victory Over Death, and also Signal Ambient 1 by Victory Over Death as well.
Mm. Oh, so you're listen, bro. I know the people listening aren't gonna get this, but one day, one terrible day in the 4departing4 server, but you should join. I crashed out because everyone, I like everywhere I go, everywhere I see is but like before we appear by victories over death. I swear to God, everyone posts that album. I've heard it. It's not all that. I get people can say that about whatever I like, right? Like you can say User 11 is not all that. You can say Magnetown Plus is not all that. You can say AD is not all that, but bro. Like everyone posts that album as like an example, like Signal Wave or like Computer Gaze, and I like Computer Gaze, but I feel like a lot of people make Computer Gaze, and I feel like a lot of people have been making Computer Gaze for like years and years and years, and I think sometimes, just sometimes, just hear me out on this,
Yeah.
it gets to a point, and I think people who are making Computer Gaze can, should, and probably aren't going to make better albums in the future, or at least improve upon like that computer games like genre.
Yeah.
And just for proof, um, I know these Signal guys are rich because I can see how many people have bought their albums on Bandcamp, and the list extends for miles and miles and miles. It's not even like a hardware thing. It's just like a creativity thing. If
Yeah.
you want to make a computer games album, go right ahead. Like, I don't want to keep people from making a computer games album. And I don't want to sound like the only crazy person like who's like tired of thinking the same thing. But I feel like there's so much computer games, bro. If you're just getting into the scene, make whatever you want, you know what I mean? But if you're like some 10-year like weathered veteran. You've been through all the incidents, been through all the people getting called out for pedophiles, been through all the like the scenes and the labels not like handing out the like the physical things and everything, bro. You're like one of those, and still making computer games the same way you did when you started. You need to improve, bro. I know you're rich. We know you're rich. We know you have the creativity and the means to do so. Why not just improve?
I think, um, I think it's kind of funny that you're talking how we kind of transitioned from victory over death to kind of how people should be more creative when it comes to signal wave or just making music as a whole, which I do agree because again, you kind of said it yourself. Vaporwave can be very monotonous if people don't tend to experiment with their styles. But Victory Over Death has uh not trying to make this into some sort of like argument, that'd be stupid, but Victory Over Death has tend to change their styles, especially with like different aliases such as Melted Wall, where they kind of go in this vapor noise or signal noise style where they either kind of do it live in free form in the DAW they're using, or kind of just
Yeah.
have very, very small chops and kind of fuck around with them, which I think is very cool.
It's not hate to Victory Over Death, bro. Because I know he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah,
Please don't ban me from the Signal Wave server.
please
But
don't.
I'm just saying like I'm tired of seeing that album as like oh, this is a really cool album, bro. Because even in the computer games thing of people not making new computer games, people like improve upon their craft, even if you're just making the same album. And I think it's not just the producer issue. I think it's a listener issue. I think us as listeners should be open to listening to new things, even if it is in the same genre.
Hmm.
I feel like there's enough album being put out and enough enough terabytes of computer games in like the whole like online ecosphere where you can find another good example of albums. Even if that's just like for people like, oh, what album should I new to see? And you're from that, that's fine. If you're still glazing an album that was put out almost 10 years ago at this point, I feel like it gets to a point. I don't even see that particular album by VOD on like lists for like, oh, Vaporwave Class I listen to. Macintosh Plus, understandable. First one in the scene. News at 11, understandable. First, not the first 9/11 album, but one of the best 9/11 albums, right?
Hmm.
Some other examples. I'll Try Living Like This. DDS, great example. 2016, banger of the year. No Lives Matter. Great example. Christ was emo. Like, there's so many like actual examples. Like, I understand. um,
I'm sorry.
there's so many examples. Like, I understand. Like I can't even come up with more albums. What albums are there? What albums are there? Let's
Shit.
say
Luxury Elites, fucking the Luxury Elite and Saint Pepsi split. Late
yes,
Night
bro.
Delight.
That's it. Late Night Delight, bro. Yes, I understand that. That's been used in almost every video in 2016 ever.
That's true.
Um, Whitewoods Boardwalk, Beach Walk.
I
I
I
understand that. Outer
I'm
Cynical's outro.
Yeah, I'm still kind of like skeptical of whether or not Whitewoods is actually vaporwave. I know someone could be like, "Oh, Whitewoods are vaporwave," or someone could be like, "Nah, they're chill wave" or shit like that. So
I mean, let's call it vape for just for the sake of it, because like,
yeah,
come on.
exactly.
Just
There
for this example.
there is. Oh, sorry to cut you off. There is another Luxury Elite album that I was trying to say, but I completely forgot about. Except I forgot the World Class. That's what I was talking about. World Class.
Is that the one with the brown album
Yes,
cover?
yes.
Yeah, I know that one. That's an understandable one, bro. Because that's like genre fighting. Like that's what if you want to get into vaporwave. You want to get in the scene. That's what you should listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Now, me, I didn't listen to that because I'm a bum, and like I don't, bro, I completely forgot that album existed, and then I sampled it one time, and I'm like, wow, this is great, and like I feel like for Signal Wave, I think like beginner Signal Wave like albums I haven't listened to yet, or like can you name some like to get into the scene?
Can I name just Signal Wave as a whole?
Yes, what Signal Wave videos like that whole thing.
Okay, so in terms of like Signal Wave, and aside from the ones you've mentioned, like News at 11, I know there is also, well, of course, there's Mega Thrust, but I personally don't count it as that much as a Signal Wave album. Just more so a progressive electronic vaporwave album that kind of mixes sampling of like real life
Yeah,
recordings.
sorry to cut you off, but that's understandable.
Yeah, and no problem. You can cut me off. I cut people so many times. You got it. Um, shit. Like if we're talking about like classics and like old signal wave stuff, I personally don't think I could name a lot. I'm not trying to count late night lo-fi ones because we've already kind of did mention that with like Saint Pepsi and like Saint Pepsi and Luxury Elite Split. Uh, but I could name like some more modern signal wave releases. There is CT57's Millbrook Memories, which is a very nostalgic, also a very short album that I recommend people check out. There's CRT Process, which is a like Fruitiger era 2000s inspired signal wave album. Of course, there's a
Oh
shift.
yeah. I'm sorry. CT57's Midnight Gas Station. That's a banger. I know that was a banger.
Midnight Gas Station.
I think it's like something along those lines. Midnight Gas Station. Sorry.
I'll look for it while talking, but there's Naoko Koed, and not to say that Naoko isn't like a bad artist or anything, but it's more so the fact that Naoko doesn't tend to experiment with her style. I think she's a very like nice individual personally, from my personal experience, right? And I
Mhm.
do think that some of the projects I've listened to from her are very enjoyable, but I would definitely say that she could definitely tend to experiment. And I know there is one album where she kind of had slush effects with commercials, but that's all I really know, to be honest. So um there is Hallmark 87's
Oh
Atrium
yeah.
and Quiet Storm.
Yeah, Quiet Storm Hallmark 87. Yeah, that's legendary. I understand that. Carpet
OTV2.
Dust, uh yeah, TV2 too. All the greats, all the legendaries, all the mods in the single server. Please don't ban me. But like I understand like those, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But because like I get it. And like I get like they blew up and like a ton of people like were just discovering, you know. But I feel like now and like glazing over the same albums, they don't define like a big branch.
yeah,
Like vapor albums in general, that's like a big like blanket term. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because people say vapor, oh I love vaporwave, and it's like future funk. Oh I love vaporwave, and it's like Plunderphonics. Oh I love vaporwave, and it's just synthwave. But like I think that like for some albums, just a select few, we gotta stop talking about them.
yeah,
Not like stop listening to them, not like stop loving them, and like not like stop promoting them like at all. I'm just saying like if you want to get into the scene, there's so many good like actually like new artists. They're gonna start pushing new artists. Basically, that's all I'm saying.
yeah. And well, to be honest, technically vaporwave is Plunderphonics. We're not on that though. We're not on that though. um but yeah, I definitely do see where you come from. Uh yeah, a lot of people should definitely experiment more. And I know they're again kind of going back to the post internet discussion that we've had. Uh Mousetrapping's first and second album, their first two like albums under the Mousetrapping alias, that being I've Always Hated the Internet and WebDriver, which was for the an album in a week uh sort of thing. But despite that, it's a
Mhm.
very incredible album, which I do recommend not only you but people who are listening to check out. We might do some sort of podcast episode slash video with Mousetrapping. That's the point. Um don't tell anyone. Anyways, but
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely does get to a point. Even with the kind of beat grid style, I like before I bought FL, which I bought FL recently. I already told you, but kind of informing those
Props
listening.
to you. Props to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I know you been really wanting me to buy FL or just kind of pirate it because I couldn't pirate it for some reason. My laptop just kind of rejects that, but I'm finally glad I got money to buy it. That's the point though. Um,
Image line. He never pirated it.
I never, but I never pirated. I did
Image line. We bought all of your. We bought all of it officially,
exactly,
legally. Image line.
exactly. Um, Even with the kind of virtual DJ beat grid style, not to say that it isn't fun nor it isn't expressive or like interesting, it is. But even with that, I feel like people could take recordings from that and put it on a DAW and fuck around with it. I
Yeah.
know um I know there has been like some sort of example of someone a kind of it's Christ. It's Christ, all right? Christ's
Okay.
alias,
Yeah. Understandable. Understandable.
yeah, his alias Cordless Soul Machine is uh a glitch Plunderphonics vaporwave album. And I thought, how did he make this? Now, did I say album? I meant Alias, right? I haven't listened to a full album, but that's the point. I keep on saying that I know, but I was like, how do you make this? He made it in virtual DJ. He made glitch ambient, sample based glitchy ambient vaporwave in virtual DJ. And I'm
Mm.
actually so confused on how he does. Maybe he had it done. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's sick though. There's just endless possibilities when it comes to like experimentation, bro. It's awesome.
Right. That's cool. And you know what's fun? You know what's fun? When people experiment and they put out new albums, and then the same albums from 5 years ago get promoted, and then no one listens to it, and then we all forget about it.
Exactly.
That's just what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
we are pushing the scene forward, like in general. It's just like
Exactly.
the people who are listening have to help out.
Yeah. All right. So we're definitely gonna continue talking after these two questions I have here because we've held these questions for God knows how long, especially me because I keep on coming in with new questions. I still forgot two questions I was gonna ask, but anyways, plans on collabing with certain people. Now, before you answer, me and you were supposed to do a split, and we have actually started to do that, which fucking sucks. Oh my gosh.
um, um, about collabing with people,
Yeah.
bro. Hit me up. Bro. Please hit me up if you want to do a collab. If there's anybody out there who's like either just starting like some official vaporwave aficionado, oh, there's nobody like that listening. But it's like still, bro, please hit me up. I love to do collabs. I love interacting with people. Um,
Connecting.
like yeah, you guys are fun. I like networking. I like all that. I like all that jazz. Please hit me up.
Yeah.
I don't mind making a couple tracks for an LP. I don't mind making a whole album aside along with yours. Please hit
Exactly.
me up. Very
So yeah, I got FL, so I'm hoping to actually put in some effort to make my part of the split. I don't know how many tracks, but yeah. But besides that, I know he's probably watching this or listening because there's barely individuals. I know he's probably listening, or unless he hasn't made it to this part. But shout out Liam Smidzik. Holy shit, his name is fucking. Shout out Liam Smidzik and Nikura. I know you already shouted her
yes,
out,
shout
but
out Nicole, bro. Nicole OG. And Liam, bro.
yeah,
Shout out to them both, bro.
they actually did splits before me with Word of versus like I gotta do better.
Bro.
But yeah, shout out them. Last question for the interview segment, which I think this is the longest the interview segment has ever gone on any episode, right? Is opinions on specific genres of vaporwave or the vaporwave scene as a whole. Because I know you've mentioned how we literally had a discussion about people not experimenting, and with new subgenres of vaporwave, you know, a lot of people kind of had their differences when it comes to the barber beats genre, and with the more complex fucking post internet, or I used to call it chronically online vaporwave style. Just what's your opinion on it, bro?
Basically, this was my opinion on like, oh, you know what? You know what? I think even if I'm ranting about how I don't like signal like monotony or vaporwave monotony, I think people putting out new albums is generally a good thing. If people call like making new or coining new genres, as you like to say coining. I like nickeling, but whatever. Like nickeling new genres and like doing a whole like you like push forward the scene, like that's a generally good thing.
Yeah,
It's always good to have more businesses in the market. And it's always good when people buy from the new businesses. You push forward the economy. And basically, like how I see it, I think we're all pushing the vapor economy forward. And I think that's a good thing. Except for this guy called like 4departing4. He kind of he kind of like sucks, but like other than that, he like everybody's good.
all right, bro. Uh,
It's just,
I said this was the end. I technically have one more. Just I just written down black people in vaporwave, right? Because of course you are black. Who would have thought, right?
mm,
There hasn't really,
mm,
despite what the genre is, sampling and how that kind of connects with like hip hop. There definitely
yeah.
does. There tends to be not much black people in the vaporwave scene, or at least from my point of view. I know there is like Uniwa, there's Gio Zero Mara. I'm so sorry if I pronounce it
I
wrong.
thought it was like I think it's like Xiao Mara or some shit. I don't even know. I don't
I
even
would
know.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's like Uniwa, I've already said their name. I think uh an artist at Drum kind of recommended me. I still haven't listened to them. I'm sorry. Um Su Uzi, they're a future funk artists who are also black, so there just isn't really much black people in the scene. So I just want to know, like, would you recommend more people to get into the scene, or like, what's your whole opinion on that?
Well, yeah, of course, um, I can say this music scene has had the least amount of racist white people. I
That's true.
think I've only ever met one, which was Graham. And he's banned, so we don't like him anyway. Please join the scene if you're somehow black and watching this. Even though I significantly doubt it, I think you might have one black listener, and that's going to be me, but I'm playing Thug Pro in the background. I have this stuff up. But
You should.
I think, I please, like, if you're black, get into the scene. It's not just a bunch of nerds, and no, it's not just Macintosh Plus or 9/11.
It's not just white people or trans people. Shout out trans people though.
Yeah.
Shout out those people. Oh yeah. I think there was something else I was going to say about kind of black people in the vapor scene. Oh yeah, Solo Dolo 84. Shout out Solo Dolo 84. He doesn't, to my knowledge, uh he doesn't actually like make vaporwave like tracks or like albums, as I think he only made one, and that was for the All Hallows Eve compilation. But he has made tons, I'm sure, of like visuals, and he's a DJ in the scene as well, so I definitely fuck with that. He was like at Don McLennan, I think, the member of Brockhampton, how they were trying to do like a live vapor thing, and Don McLennan was there, and like it was fucking awesome. But yeah, that's it for the interview segment. We're just gonna talk for like half an hour because it's already like been an hour of us doing the interview. So
For sure, for sure.
yeah.
Uh, um,
So
uh,
how's it been today?
it's been all right. It's been all right. It's been all right. Been a little bit busy, but I'm officially on spring break, so that's pretty calm.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
have all the time in the world to make albums,
You
Like,
play.
I'm gonna, I'm gonna have all the time in the world to work on my albums, and that I had dreams physical you keep asking me about, and that I
Yeah.
had dreams physical you keep asking me about, and then I had dreams physical you keep asking me about. Like, I was gonna
Okay.
have all the time.
Oh my gosh, bro.
But yeah, you know how it is, bro.
I just kind
And
of.
I'm gonna have it in a jewel case.
Oh yeah,
Weird anyway.
yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to preface this, right. I wanted to buy CDs literally today. I was my intention was to buy 4 CDs, right? Uh,
Yeah.
or at least like, okay, not specifically CDs or just physicals, right? I wanted to buy either kind of like 4 out of some of these, right? I wanted to buy WWW.
Of course.
Uh, I've always hated the internet.
Of course.
I'll try them like this.
A classic.
Um, the album I've literally listened to today, $1 Billion Minds, Division.
Okay.
Uh, House. Even though I haven't listened to House, I've only listened to Home, which I don't. Wait, no, was I? No, was that? Yeah, it was, but it wasn't in a jewel case. That's
It
right.
is.
It is.
No, since saying it's on the physical, I thought
Okay, yeah, it
you
is
were
on
saying.
physical. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Lover's Dream, again. Shout out Drum. Lover's Dream. Okay, I forgot. I think shit. I forgot the name of the album because it's in Japanese, but it's the one with Downtown Fog and Mana with Slush Wave. Shout out Drum. Shout out Damien. I'm fucking. I'm shouting out to you. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to buy
I love
them.
that.
Yeah, I wanted to buy
You
them.
should have. Wait, what happened?
What?
What happened?
The shipping price. I didn't put that into consideration at
Ooh.
all. The shipping prices are insane.
Bro, I
Now
feel bad for
it,
you.
exactly, bro. So like, I have around, I think it's like $60 on my PayPal now, right? Because people have been supporting me on Bandcamp. Thank y'all. Even if y'all don't know the aliases or like shit that I'm posting music under, good luck finding them. It's probably not that hard. That's besides the point. Um, so I didn't put that into consideration. So I was like trying to do the maths on how much money it would be to buy the physicals, right? But
Mhm.
when I actually wanted to see something, kind of like want to see how I would kind of purchase them with PayPal, the shipping price came up, and then I was like, I didn't even put that into consideration, so I felt stupid about it.
Pockets hurt a little bit, bro.
Yeah, bro. Because I had $60. Like at most, I could buy two CDs, and then my money could go from $60 on my PayPal to like 11, all because I wanted two CDs, and that's it. It's like, oh my gosh, bro, I
Bro,
can't.
I feel bad. I'm like, do you have a tape player?
I don't. I don't, bro.
Okay, okay. I don't even have extras of my own stuff. I have like one copy. You have a vinyl player?
I do, but I don't use it mainly because it's not one that is necessarily all that great. Like
Yeah.
when kind of looking into the vinyl community, where a lot of people, it's the Crosley Cruiser, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, that one's bad," right? But there's some people who's like,
Yeah.
"It's fine." Nonetheless, I don't use it. I don't use it
Bro,
personally.
I swear to God, the vinyl community, bro. Holy moly. If you touch your vinyl in any way, you might as well just throw the whole thing away. I swear to God.
I mean,
I
like,
don't even get vinyl, bro.
yeah, I that's completely understandable. I actually, I don't know if I should like. No, I'm not turning on my camera for this. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm joking, but I actually recently started picking up a lot more CDs, right? It started off with one where my mom had bought a shit ton of CDs, and one of them happens to be 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye, right? We all know what
Mhm.
Kanye's doing now. We're not going to talk about it, right? 808s
Yeah.
had 808s had a song that I loved as a child called Heartless. And I
Mhm.
did listen to the album kind of bit after, and I loved the album, but it wasn't like to the point where it's like I had to play. That's the point. I listened
Yeah.
to the album, I enjoyed it, and when she brought the CD, I was like, "Yeah, I'm keeping this. It's mine now."
Yeah.
So I have that, and then after that, I decided to go to this place that sells music related stuff, along with some other electronics, but I wasn't actually expecting them to have like physicals until a friend of mine actually kind of recorded them and kind of sent them to me. But the only CDs they had was kind of like stuff made by people in the Caribbean, and it would mainly be like religious stuff, which isn't bad, but of course it's not albums that I personally were interested in or have listened to. So I
But yeah,
decided,
of course.
yeah. So I decided, I think I hear my mouth. I'm so sorry, but I decided to go there, and out of nowhere, I just saw a one with the purple cover and the one with the orange and blue cover. They're very obscure albums, so I was kind of surprised to find something like that in K-Man. One of them was a post rock album, and the other was a drum and bass down tempo album, which is which was out of the two the only one I have listened to, which is called. Let me look at the CD right now. Downtown Tokyo by Naoko Kenji, while the post rock album was called uh Ultraviolet Makes Me Sick, No Freeway, No Plans, No Trees, No Ghosts. I still haven't listened to this one, but I do want to do that soon, hopefully. But then it wasn't until sometime recent where I got a
Sorry.
package, right? You may already know where this is going, but the package was my own CDs, right? For my
Mhm.
own like signal wave alias under Visions of Sound
Mhm.
and Light. So again, I just
Mhm.
want to thank Ian, thank Hydroplane into False Reality for sending them to me. Uh I fuck with it. But it
Yes,
wasn't
bro.
it wasn't it wasn't
Sorry.
go ahead, go ahead. You have something to say?
Yes, bro. Because Liam, bro. Not Liam. Shout out to, well, shout out to Liam, but shout out to, bro, shout out to Hydroplane, bro. He got me my first tapes. Please
That's
buy
awesome.
my tapes, please.
Please do, bro. It's good, bro. Um it wasn't until like very recently, as a matter of fact, where I decided, you know what, let me go to this other place that sells CDs, right? They also make like bootleg CDs, but I'm not interested in them because uh although I'm not much of an audiophile, they mainly kind of take it from YouTube audio. So I would assume I can't really put my own audio on there. Well, aside from like actual YouTube, second, I don't think they would actually make or like produce a jewel case sort of thing. I think it's mainly in those like flimsy hard plastic cases that everyone knows about. I would assume so. But besides
Hey,
that,
not too much.
yeah, I picked up like four. Two of them I haven't listened to, and the other two I have. I or wait, is it five? Yeah, five. Okay, I've picked up To Pimp a Butterfly. I picked up Songs in the Key of Life. I picked up Yeezus. I don't really fuck with Yeezus all that much. I just picked it up because I love the packaging. And I picked up The Roots fuck what's it called? Game Theory and Eclipse album. Those are the like only two I haven't listened to. I forgot the name of the Eclipse album. I think it's like Hail to Have Fear or some shit. But yeah.
Mhm.
But
How
yeah.
much do I not give a fuck? Let me show you right now. Before.
Yeah, no problem.
No, no, bro.
What?
We're talking about DVD collections, and you're hating on flimsy DVD cases. Home
Yes.
comes in a DVD case, and it's 3 discs. Not only is it full album visuals with like DBZ noises in the background. Shout out to Robotic. They're the OG, bro. Shout out to Robotic Culture. Holy moly. Almost every single physical at this point has been because of Robotic Culture. And the only reason why is because I couldn't do tapes, bro. Shout out to Robotic Culture. Oh my lord.
Dream Corp
I gotta
Records,
pay
right?
them back one day, bro. Yeah, Dream Corp Records, bro. Shout out to Robotic Culture.
Yeah. Also, the album's called Hail Hath No Fury. That's what it's called. My apologies, y'all. But
Yeah,
anyways,
okay.
back to I think it's kind of funny because a lot of people used the Dream Corp like name in the vaporwave scene, and it's kind of like confusing because there is an artist who goes by Dream Corp who has like multiple aliases, and then to see the record label that is literally called Dream Corp, there's like shit.
Yeah, bro. You know, people with their visions of sound and their visions of light, you know.
Okay,
Like a
bro.
lot of dreams, a lot of dream corps, dream sequence, visions of sound. How is there a vision of sound? No one knows. No one knows. He still hasn't explained to me what a vision of sound is yet.
Bro, I'm just okay. Okay, listen. I thought it was a cool name, but it may. If I'm being honest, right? Maybe I'm just bullshitting here, kind of putting it in a sort of like imaginary sort of thing because I don't mainly just do like classic signal wave now, bro. I do like computer gaze signal ambient, bro. So that's kind of like the main thing. I'm sorry. So if you're
Whatever.
just think about it, okay.
Now, if you ask me why there's 2 4s and one is leaving, I can't, you know,
Exactly.
that's just how it is, you know. It's
Yeah.
2 4s, one is leaving. Easy.
And not to mention you've made like the joke where it's like two arriving to.
Yeah, for April Fools. This happens every April Fools. I almost forgot last time.
Yeah. Same.
And then there's all the side projects, you know, shout out to Silverio, forgot how to pronounce my own name. And weather.bandcamp.com. That's also really cool too.
See,
Um
I don't think people are gonna pick that up because of how bad that whisper was.
that's why. Just check my Discord username. Join the Discord if you want the name.
All right. Yeah, because I'm definitely not gonna link it. Wink wink. Anyways.
If you see it in the link of the video, Sammy Boy likes damn, I can't make any of my normal jokes. We're not recording. We're not recording, bro.
Exactly.
You're lucky this time. You just barely escaped me.
I don't even know what joke you were going with. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're not even gonna talk about
But go for real. I think recording. I think collecting is cool. But collecting is just like so much money, dude. Because like every CD and every tape is like $15 or like $7, something like that. And I have a collection, and it's literally all my own stuff. I used to
it.
have like money, and I would like spend it on like physical. That's why I have I only get the albums that like I deem like necessary. Um there's never gonna be like Mac plus like physical. I know there's like some big like yippee ki over that,
Yeah.
and then there's not gonna be a News at 11 tape, and I'm not getting the vinyl for it, and there's not gonna be like any Christ album and like ever in the past like for the past next like 5 years, bro. And I
Yeah.
feel like I'm out of luck, and it's like just whatever albums I find on like BizCast. That's usually what I use for like samples and stuff, or like whatever you guys release. I'll try to support.
Yeah.
Sammy boy, check your PayPal in the recent days. Maybe I'll buy your Discog, bro.
All right.
But
Appreciate.
listen,
I
bro,
do,
listen, bro.
hey, okay. Personally, I don't recommend
Mhm.
it because there is so much like not so quality work on there. If I'm being honest, I feel like some of it could have been like there could have been a lot more effort put into like my own stuff under the Sammy Boy name specifically. But yeah,
Hey, that's how I feel, and you still brought my Discog, bro.
you're right. But your shit is better, bro. Your shit is more fully fleshed out. That's all I gotta say personally. Work in Progress is like my best project under Sammy Boy though. Go check that out. It's I.
Yeah, there's this track called Honor Roll,
All right.
and I don't know who he sampled, but it sounds really lame.
All right. It's not only on. It's also Do You Wanna to not to mention.
Oh yeah, because he's been glazing track 3 of Velvet Road for 5 years now.
Yeah, bro. It's a beautiful Echo Jam track, bro.
I have a wife and kids. He's still gonna be like, yo, you remember track 03? Bro,
All right, bro.
you're gonna have a wife and kids looking at myself. This is the good stuff right here, bro.
Shit, I don't even know if I want kids. All right, bro.
Like, I think I'm late.
I never knew what it. What? Why am I singing that? Oh my
Wait, I never knew what hit bros. Wait, it's
gosh.
kind of fire. That's kind of fire.
we're
I'm
all
gonna use it.
we're so off topic, bro. We're talking about physicals. Go back to your physicals, bro.
Okay, so basically, I only have physicals of netbooks and um. Let me pull the tapes out here.
Yeah.
Fleshwater in that verse self. Yo, I'm so happy I got the verse self tape, dog. I'm literally, bro. They're never re-releasing a tape, bro. I got the last one. It literally said edition of one. I had to ask my mom to put some money on my card, bro.
Lord have mercy.
Verse self when they were really blowing up, bro. That Aura song. I know how to play it on guitar, dude. It's so fire. I don't care what anybody says. If I'm like a trend hopper or whatever, bro. That song is still fire. But
Amazing.
bro, I got that tape. That was pretty sick. Um, I'm gonna get one of Sammy's collections things. And Sammy Boy is never gonna buy any of my stuff unless it's in a jewel case.
Don't say that.
So when I eventually mail him something, I'm gonna write a giant dingaling on the case, and that's gonna be his collection. It's gonna be a part of his collection. It'd be a neon pink metallic reflective dingaling on the case.
Hey, bro. Hey, I take it. I still take it, bro. On,
He's talking about some. I would take the dingaling. All
hey,
right, bro.
don't,
I mean,
don't,
whatever
don't,
you want.
don't, 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 don't. That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
That is what you said, bro.
Okay, but okay. When it comes to as much as I would love to buy a physical from you, said it's more so the fact that again, one, money, and two, me just finding out that with the whole like shipping fees or like shipping delivery like prices like that actually kind of hurt me. It's like, god damn, I can't buy this shit.
Yeah, that's understandable, bro. Because you live in like Antarctica, bro. So
I do
you
not
kind of
live
have
out.
that. Bro, you live in like the North Pole, South Pole, bro. Like when it's Christmas time, you see people walking past the house like my son. Hey, what time? Like, bro, you gonna clock in for work? Like, bro, I know you see the elves. Like, I know you see Santa, bro.
All right, bro.
You live in the Bermuda Triangle, trying to get fucking tapes out to your house, bro. Like, it's not happening.
All right. Also, not to mention, you have kind of talked about how physical collecting is expensive, like an expensive hobby, or like CD collecting. You said,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think
Would you
sorry.
rather? I don't know. It's fine. Would you rather like buy vinyl, buy a record player, buy a setup for the record player and shit like that, or would you just buy CDs and a CD player, bro?
Okay, it depends on the CD player.
You're right.
If there's a CD player and I move and the track skips to the end of the album, I'm crashing out on everyone.
That
But
is
if I buy a vinyl player and I have like Last Call by Kanye and I put the the Jean Paul Gaultier like cologne on it, and then like I'm gonna get the vinyl player, bro.
mhm.
Like people like it just like depends on like what you're playing on it, to be honest with you. That's
Yeah.
just me joking around, make a little joke, but like it depends on like if you want vinyl, if all your albums are gonna be vinyl, bro. When it's like stingy, pretentious people in the scene who like only put out your stuff on vinyl, and all the bums that like, oh, bro, I love it when it's in super duper. I'm gonna come with like stereoscopic 3D in my ear, bro. Bro, I can hear the sound. I can hear the drums in my ear.
8D
Then, like, of
audio.
course, you're gonna get the vinyl player. But if you're like a normal person, you're gonna get a CD player, dude.
Yeah. Not to uh not to mention when it comes to vinyl, I literally only have one record on vinyl, and that's Miles Davis's Kind of Blue. Just for the fuck of it. The sad thing is that I opened it, but I didn't have no plastic sleeves or anything, so dust is literally getting to, and I hate it. I hate it very much. But it's like I use all that much anyways, but still.
Bro, you better lock it up. You know what they say. If you let the vinyl expose to air for less than like a second, then it starts rusting away, and then it's gonna like kill everyone in your fucking house.
You're right. You are so right. It's gonna explode, like implode and then
Actually,
explode
you're gonna play it
simultaneously.
one time, and then it's gonna be like nuclear warfare.
Hey, bro, maybe I could like do some sort of like caretaker shit and like sample it.
Yo, bro, make mousetrap beat.
Mouse.
You could be like, I always hated warfare.
I always hate that. Like I've always hated the internet plus www. That was corny. I'm so sorry.
It sounds like someone needs to go outside.
Real shit, bro. I mean, I walk. I mean, here's me saying I go outside, but it's like I low key don't sound like it or look like it. As a matter of fact, I'm sure.
I mean, I made an album called "Don't Go Outside."
Exactly. You made 2 projects called "Don't Go." One of them just said still
Lit-
don't go outside.
because it's just still.
Because it's still man. Like,
Still.
oh my god.
Yo, I love being interviewed in like a semi-professional way, talking about some fucking still, bro.
Exactly, bro.
Great.
It's like be around the bends. I'll
Bro,
be
my
out.
mom, my mom got into a collision listening to that album, bro. I'm so mad. I'm still mad about that.
Say that
Still
again.
mad about this.
Say that again.
My mom got in a collision. We were listening to All Right, like in the car off of Don't Go Outside. And bro, tell me why another car hit us, bro. We
That
were
is
literally driving.
that is fucking crazy, bro. What the fuck?
Yo, she still hasn't fixed the car. I
That
look at it and I think about I go around the bends like the car's bent. Like, bro.
Hey, but did she fuck with it though? Did she enjoy
No,
it?
she literally forgot all about it right after the thing.
Oh my gosh, bro, you gotta be like, hey, remember that time where I played my album and then their car crash happened? Hey, you want to
You
listen to
know,
the album again?
bro, you know what's funny? I saw someone listening to the same track and like the same spot we were in. Like before he crashed down and like left the server, bro. Spooky
Spooky
Restless.
Rusty. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yes, bro. I saw him listening to All Right in the car, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, maybe you shouldn't do that.
I'm probably just for sake of uh for privacy, I think I'm gonna censor his name because I wouldn't want people to be like, hey, who's Spooky Rusty? It's like, eh.
Oh
Or
yeah.
not. Maybe I could be lazy and just say fucking have it just in the thing. I don't know.
Oh wait, you have to edit this? I feel bad for your PC. Have
Not
fun with that, bro.
no, it's not that bad. It is not that bad, bro. It's not that bad. I use CapCut, not to mention, which is it.
Oh, oh, so you're sitting there with your phone getting high,
No,
hotter
I
and
don't,
hotter and hotter.
bro. There's a PC version of CapCut, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's
So
not
it's
that.
just your PC getting hot.
It doesn't get that. It does, I don't even think it gets hot, bro. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could can tell you about it afterwards. But overall, I haven't
Yo, bro, I'm
really.
editing the episode. There's a fire.
I don't think there's that much like problems with like on my laptop. For those who know, my laptop, the laptop I use is like my high school laptop, and they just said, "All right, you could keep them," and I had got it wiped, and I have like 90 something space of storage left, which I'm surprised because I know I used to have like 5 gigs of storage left, and it was bad. It was bad.
Wait. For those who know.
Shut up, bro. I swear to God. For those who don't know. Wait, I said for those who know, I meant for the like oh, I'm an idiot.
Those who know.
Okay, bro. Okay. But yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
I can't even talk. I have Sony Vegas, but I barely use it. I think I've only used it for the background, for the visuals. The optical illusion. Yeah. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
go ahead.
Um, dude, bro. I know I'm supposed to be at SignalCon 2025, bro. I literally haven't started working on my albums, and I would work on them in Sony Vegas,
Mhm.
but I hope it's in like June, because I might get a
It's in
new
July.
computer around my birthday. Oh, it's in July. Okay,
Yeah.
thank God, because I might get a new computer around my birthday, and I'll like cram all the stupid videos in there at once.
Yeah,
Luckily,
that's
it's
fair.
only 20 minutes.
Yeah. I just kind of want to talk about like visual sets for a bit
Yeah,
because not only have I watched your SignalCon 2024 set, which by the way wasn't even Signal Wave. Second,
nerd.
I also watched the set for netbooks.world Skyline 2024 set, which I gotta
Mm,
rewatch with headphones this time because I actually thought it was a cool ass set. The ray gun part, ooh, that ray gun part was
Yes,
sick.
Netflix is getting like such a good artist, man. He needs to
Yeah,
upload more.
he
He's
needs
like
to
the
upload.
only. He's like the only. Yes, bro. He literally needs to drop an album.
He hasn't dropped an album since like what 2021 or some shit.
Yes, now those were Lucy's, bro.
Yeah.
Where's the actual one?
Also, I was gonna say this off the podcast, right? But I low key
Yeah.
tried. I low key tried putting netbooks onto your music.
He responded to you like he's still
Yeah.
alive. I thought he was
Okay.
like,
Okay. Wait. Hold on. Let me look at the message. I'm just gonna say the message. Like, am I'm not gonna say them actually. I'm just gonna kind of screenshot them because I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't feel comfortable with like just randomly saying private messages to people. And be like, interesting. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's not like Netflix is gonna watch my podcast or anything, right? Right?
Bro.
I mean, there's a don't read them out loud, of course, but yeah, there's that. You could just kind of talk about them.
Oh, that's embarrassing. He knows I
Eh,
follow him. How does he know that?
I'm surprised too, to be honest, bro. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about it that much. I mean, you can still talk about it, but I'm just gonna kind of stray away from that. Netbooks haven't released anything in like 2 years, probably three. And what's funny is that he posted on Blue Sky saying, but seriously, where the hell is Netbooks? Like they posted a novel and then have it came back. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Hold on. I actually gotta look for it. Holy shit.
It's like
Netbooks.
someone finding out you have a crush on them, bro. And it was like he sampled my music a couple of times. How does he know that? Who told, bro?
Who told
Who
bro?
told, bro?
Okay, so here's the actual tweet. It came out 3 months ago, right? They again,
Mhm.
they're not consistent when it comes to posting, but they literally had posted like in an image form. No, I mean like literally what happened to Netbooks because he dropped Lucy's and Endless Staircase and just left for a year.
It's only been a year, dog. I've been like, damn. I thought
Yeah.
it's been like months.
So someone replied to drops one of the best vaporwave projects in years, refuses to elaborate, leave. Shout out Agnar Blue Sky, I guess. We're
Oh
just
yeah.
shouting out everyone at this point. Shout out Kanye West for what he's been doing recently. No, I'm joking.
Do not shout out Kanye.
All right. Before
Holy PR, bro. Do not shout out Kanye.
do not shout out Kanye. But we need like I need to first off, I need to re-listen to Endless Staircase, right? And I need to check out Lucy's. But if we're being honest, we need a new like Kelvin Club release. I know there's also extensions for Chrome, which I haven't checked out like in full, but yeah, there is that too. So interesting. Yeah.
So wait, you just go in there and people's DMs and be like, hey, listen to 4departing4.
Okay, I just want to clarify. I don't do that constantly, right? But when I get the opportunity, I'm gonna be like, man, I should put niggas onto For Departing 4. Like, what the fuck?
Do you put like people on like what's his damn, I said what's his name and I know his name, dog. He's gonna be I hope he doesn't listen to this. Do you put people on like Just Mix too?
Okay, despite interviewing Just Mix, I just wanna make it clear that I haven't listened to a full project by Just Mix. I'm exposing myself. Listen, I just wanna like the only experience with me hearing Just Mix's music is when he's playing it, when he's actually playing it for us in like in call, or when I'm like skimming through it, because I know I did skim through like some tracks off like Burning 6-3. And I know he has dropped a live, he calls it DJ mix, but I'm just gonna call it Vaporwave EP that I made the album cover for. Which is actually pretty cool if I'm being honest.
Mm.
It's definitely is kind of weird that I interviewed someone who I barely have like any experience with as like
So is it just me? I feel special. Is it just me?
this is no, I okay. Who okay, we're I'm so bad at talking. Now, uh I know again you already know that I interviewed Just Mix on the podcast, but I also kind of want to go back at kind of looking at some of the other people who I've had on the podcast. I'm not going through all of them, but just kind of like artists specifically. Um Lanternfly, oh, they don't go by that now. Mary Pryor, shout out Mary. Um Again, Drum, Lover's Dream, shout out Damien. Christ, I had Christ on the podcast, which if I'm being honest, and I think this probably no, this isn't the first time I'm saying this, but it was probably one of the worst ones. Not because of Christ. I think Christ did a amazing job at kind of like replying. It was on my part because I didn't have much of like good questions to ask him. This was around the time where I've listened to 3 to 4 projects by him, and yeah, I thought, man, I should interview this man because why not?
Yo, bro, if I get on a podcast with no, I played Fort with him once. That's literally my only interaction with him. I
You're
literally played
joking.
Fortnite. He sucks at Fortnite. Like respectfully, he's the shit.
Actually,
Respectfully, bro.
I actually don't remember the exact amount of projects I've listened to by Christ when I interviewed him, but
I think it was everything except for some of his old stuff, I think like 2014, some of that stuff. I didn't think I listened to that.
yeah,
I listened to like all the mainline.
yeah. Oh, I would love to have Christ on again. I want to redeem myself, but I don't want to make it awkward because I feel like that is going to be the case if I do trying to ask him. It's like, hey, you want to come back on my podcast? You want to come back on my podcast?
He's gonna be like, "Hey, I saw you on Google Maps one time.
Oh
What were
my!
you doing with the vinyl in your pants?"
I didn't
Vinyl.
actually. I think I saw it once. That's what I was. We're if you can't send a screenshot, please do. That's point. Um, Look on Demand. He is a YouTuber, but he has made an EP, and I did kind of say, "Hey, yo, go check out his EP." Also a bucket of Jake, another YouTuber who makes music. Uh, of course, Just Mix and Lou Trilogy. Shlomo
Yeah,
technically has made music, but I don't think it was that much. Not to say that's irrelevant or anything, but yeah. But yeah, you're like the main one who I've listened to like a shit ton, if I'm being honest. Well, you and Lover's Dream actually. You and Lover's Dream, I would say.
yeah. Late coming soon, guys. Watch out for the 7 inch.
That's awesome, bro. But yeah, it's just when it comes to like selecting people who I want to have on my podcast, it's just like mainly smaller creators as opposed to big name people. As much as I would love to have someone like Eric Andre or Flying Lotus on the podcast, or even hell, someone like from Dynamic Shroud, a part of me is kind of like, I'll probably wait down the line. So yeah,
Bro, flying Lotus on your podcast, dog. That'd be insane.
you fuck with Flying Lotus?
I literally sampled that.
No, but okay, yeah, I do remember that. But the main reason why I asked that because I know, despite you sampling them, I don't really know your whole experience with Flying Lotus. So
I mean, I don't listen to like everything, but some of their
hmm
stuff's good.
yeah. Also, I literally ask this every time like the interview section is done. What have you been listening to as of recent?
Ooh, as of recent, aside from my own stuff, it's been a lot of Roblox music.
You're
Okay, so listen,
joking.
listen, listen, listen. Not like boots, shirts, and pants. Like old like sigil core, bro. That's what I could say it. Not like
Yeah,
sigil core, but like a ton of like those super like SoundCloud rappers were my favorite. Like iMessage, like Jay's. I've been listening to a lot of that. Um, I can actually tell you my playlist real quick. Let me pull it up.
yeah.
It's been Jay's, cool Jay's, not like the recent Jay's.
Because I
Not
know
like not like the arrested Jay, bro.
arrested. He's arrested. I mean,
He was.
he was. What did he do? He like wait killed someone or something?
I think he had an allegation of stabbing his girl or something like that. I forgot.
Goodness
Not really that
gracious.
important.
No, not important. Okay, man.
Hey, there's been rappers who did worse. Like imagine being Kanye.
You're right.
Said I'm acting like Hitler, when I am just a fella.
You could actually, you know what? Don't say you can say nigga, but God forbid something
I'm
happens.
not saying that on your podcast. Oh, you're live on Twitch? Come on, dude.
You're right. Oh my gosh, bro.
It's like Morse code, bro. I'm not saying that on your podcast.
How am I really? Was
I
you
saw a TikTok like that. Huh?
you sampled the Kanye song and you had it censored when you didn't know it was censored. You
I,
just sampled it.
bro, I thought it sounded good. I'm like, wow, this would be fire. I should put some like drums over that.
Yeah,
And I didn't even know what he was saying.
it was good, but I think it's funny how you sampled it and didn't even realize it was censored. It was like, keep a few Jews in the staff now. Yeah, I cash
I
out.
crash, I
Crash
crash out
out.
like an 808, like 808s in heartbreak.
See, this is why so, like it's kind of oh my gosh. I would say I'm used to like talking to you and your friends and like with the whole like brain rot shit. But it's like when making music and I'm hearing y'all talk, it's like, bro, I can't stand y'all niggas. I can't.
That's my bad, bro. It's low
Nah,
key shade because he be peeing me off. He said something stupid, bro. Like, uh, actually, there's only like four sheep in my Minecraft house, and I like he's like it's like I don't even know how to say it, bro. It's like when someone asks you a stupid question, like, "Is the sky blue, bro? Like, can you go outside, you can like check if the sky is blue for me?" And then you like respond, "No, I think the sky is green with a little bit of skibidi aura and poop fart." Like it's something stupid. Like he always says something stupid, and like I react to it. That's my bad, bro. I know
I
you've been working on your FL, bro.
no, okay, I just want to clarify. I don't think it's a inherently like bad thing. I still fuck with y'all like a lot, but it's like how do I explain it without sounding like, I hate y'all? Uh, I I like you said, it gets to a point. It gets to a point. No, I still love y'all though, because y'all are fucking hilarious. And Danny, as much as Danny does piss me off sometimes, he's the cool dude, bro.
Oh, put what he said in the description, bro. Hey, Sammy boy.
Oh my, I hate it. Oh my
Please
god.
put that in the description. That would be so funny.
Hey, Zach, Lord. Danny, I swear to God, if you get here and just say hey to Sammy or any shit like that, I swear to God, I'm blocking you. Okay, no, I'm not. But
You know what's funny? Sammy.
yeah,
You're Sammy. Why? Like, Danny actually has made music before. He tried like now he makes like lame hood trap remixes of like common like songs or whatever. But
yeah.
he made like actual like stupid dumb like um almost had a word there that I shouldn't say. Like stupid, stupid, like dumb, like for like a vaporwave music. Right? He worked with me on that album, and he called himself 2008 with like spaces in between it. Like it's a reference to 2021. If everybody's ever heard of that, but
um,
um, but yeah, he actually made vaporwave one time. So is Harrison. I don't know if you've met Harrison.
I don't think so.
Probably not. Shout out to Shane, Harrison, and Danny, bro.
Shout out all of 4departing4. I almost said the real name there, but yeah, I'm not gonna say.
Devastating thing.
Very devastating. Shout
Name
out.
or face, dude. Name or face, I'm cooked.
Exactly.
Why do you think I'm making music? I'm Ja.
Exactly right. The voice, okay, but it's like anything after that is like, yeah, nah. Wait,
Even then, the only reason I'm sharing my voice is because I made like a stream like a year ago, 2 weeks ago
yeah,
at this point. Right. That was yeah. I'm like okay.
I
Okay.
I didn't peep the stream in full, but I know you just like played Thug Pro and you just went on like virtual DJ.
Like I was fooling around.
It was funny though. Oh my gosh. Like, but yeah, we gotta work on a project together though. I'm currently just fucking around in FL. And I'm just making like sample chops and adding like drum loops to them. Drum loops. I'm not making the drums myself because I'm lazy. No, I'm not. I mean, kind of, but that's the point.
Bro, there's so many things besides your point. How have you not added space
Exactly.
yet?
Exactly. I've said it so much, bro. It should make like a bingo card for is like if Simon says this or is this being mentioned in the podcast episode.
Besides the point, sorry for cutting you off. Sorry in general. There's
Sam,
also this one thing I've been hearing.
Samson says nigga. I think this is the most I've said nigga on this podcast on this episode like entirely.
Hey, that just shows you're comfortable with the real OG or the real alpha.
Exactly, because
And that
I think with the rest of the people, even if I don't have much experience, I just come out and say, "Yeah, nigga," because I think I've like besides some people, more specifically like Drum, Thomas, and who else have I been on these? Oh, Just Mix. Yeah, I would just say nigga once at least, right? But when it comes to like you, it's like, yeah, I'm all around, just like fucking whatever.
it was not once, bro. I saw the the transcript of the video. It was not once. Not even athlete. It was not once, bro.
My apologies. Oh my gosh.
Bro. See, bingo. Yes,
I said it. I don't even know how much times I've said it. I'm probably just going to still continue saying it, bro. Hey, if you made it this far, let me know how much I said, nigga, bro, including that one.
how many times has PewDiePie cursed? Like the number,
Shut up, bro. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
guys. Please tell Sammy Boy he should make a remix of PMO by Civ the Bear. I stepped in and I walked through. Crowd
I hate you, bro.
6'2", neck blue.
Please be quiet,
Wait,
bro.
6'2", like 6'7"?
Say what are you? Oh my gosh. Okay. 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 No. It's fine. It's fine. I
This
hope
would be the worst podcast episode ever.
I I hope people don't think I'm genuinely being mad at what you're saying, but it's like I wouldn't be
It'd be
surprised
really
if they
funny
do.
if you
It would
if you like, bro.
crashing out and shit. You know what?
Like it
I think we are gonna kind of talk about that one member who left the server because of another server. We're not gonna
Gucci
say.
rest.
I was
Oh,
gonna say we're not gonna say their name. God damn it.
oh,
Uh,
well, technically we already said it. Just
yeah, we
hashtag me
have,
out.
but I was gonna say okay. Uh, There was this one dude in the 4departing4 server who was in another server, I think talking about politics or something. I'm not sure. What happened, they sent a song by Burzum without talking about what Burzum did or anything like that. Cause it was if you have listened to Philosophum, which I would assume 4departing4 here hasn't actually listened to, um it's a black metal album that has a 25-minute ambient track. And I just said it was like ass or mid or whatever. Like, and then they came in like, yeah, you're sensitive. And they didn't even spell sensitive right. They're like in their 30s and they didn't spell sensitive right. Right?
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah, you know what I want to do, bro?
what?
I was just thinking about that. That's low key funny, bro. You're talking about, bro. And he's not even in the server. I think he crashed because of another server, bro.
Yes.
He was low key the only person that fucked with the emo wave, though, and then Phrase just dropped him kind of down.
Exactly, bro. I was so just like every he was making he was like mocking like vaporwave. That's what it's like. Y'all don't even make your own shit, and then here comes you. Be like, wait, I make my own shit. Wait, I do something unique. What's his
I
problem?
was hurt, bro. He's the only person that fucked with the emo wave. I was sad.
Exactly. It was it was so it was such a drastic change as well, all because of something that happened in another server, bro. Like what?
Loki, I'm gonna start crashing out when people say like the music I like is bad. I'm Loki finna do that. That's Loki like a W play, bro. You just like
Versus
leave and leave a server just because people say your music was bad. Loki, that's kind of fire.
just
Loki,
be
I'm
like
doing that.
versus self sucks and be like steam coming out of your ears and shit.
I would yell, but then your mic is gonna pick it up and it's gonna be super yeah, super loud on your
Exactly.
podcast.
You know that like Flight reacts and how he blows into his microphone and like all you hear is like pain and agony from the people he's playing with.
Two turntables and a money board.
Oh my gosh.
Bro
I
spent money on a money board.
I think I'm going back to something that I've talked about like earlier, and it was your set. I didn't I like how I mentioned the netbook set, but I didn't talk much about yours because I was gonna say like how you're gonna change for this like new signal consent this sense set, and like again the visuals very who would have thought it's like very heavily inspired by Christ. It was like I wonder how it's
That's
gonna
why.
like change compared to like your last set.
Well, thing about the sets is that you try to do something new,
Hmm.
it usually doesn't work out. I try to do something new. So, I think for this set, the whole thing was two videos playing at one time, which of course isn't that crazy, but I didn't see anybody else do it, so I did
Yeah,
it.
but
You usually
it's
just
a cool
pick,
concept.
yeah, two pictures and they're like time synced based on like what the guy is saying. It's like,
Yeah.
do you think about it? I could like you like that. And like when he says like, then I switch it. And when he says do you, and I switch it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
It was.
Um, and then it changes themes pretty much like every time. It takes from like a slideshow with pictures to a slideshow with videos, and then it becomes black. It, okay, to clarify, the set transitions from black to white to signify like the end of the set.
I thought it was
And
white
then
to
there's
black.
oh wait, yeah, white to black. Sorry, got my own set wrong.
Mm.
But yeah, yeah, I got my it transitions from white to black um, to signify like the song genre changing, which of course is to emo. Who would have guessed? But like basically, I thought it was a cool idea. I didn't see anybody else's set do something cool. Well, I did see some cool sets, but not cool. There's nothing new. Like I've seen the advertisements for products I can't buy anymore about a million times.
Yeah.
But still, you know, I'm always happy to not fit the stupid genre of SignalCon at all. Want them to make a movie.
I'm
I'm
surprised
gonna
that
make a movie.
they actually decided, you know what? He's not doing Signal Wave, but let's add him anyways.
No, seriously, I'm still surprised they had me in there. I thought they would have been like, no, you can't do it unless you're doing actual Signal.
Yeah. And I'm surprised and if you I highly doubt you could do that with like Slush Wave 2025 or just any Slush Wave set
Probably not.
because they're gonna be
I
like
had to
this
get
ain't
like
Slush Wave.
famous in the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get like famous in the community before I can do anything stupid like that.
Yeah, because
I'm
you've
not
done
even famous
Signal
in
Wave
Signal.
multiple times. You haven't done Slush Wave though, which I feel like is a cool thing or would be a cool thing. You're
Do
not
slush
hey,
wave.
you're not listen, bro, you're not obligated to do Slush Wave, but it's like, hey, it's there, bro.
And I'm gonna one of these days I'm gonna be like, I might drop like a 4 hour long album. Time to do something.
I mean, if Telepath can do it, you could too, right?
You mean Echo Fella?
Echo Nick. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. But yeah, I feel like
We
what bro? It's-
we call it Echo Fella. Echo.
Echo Philip.
We call it about Echo. We do that. We all do that.
We all do that. I feel like
As in me and you.
yeah. I feel like with like the new set, you could have some sort of like I mean, with the transgression visual, like the music video for transgression for the All Hallows Eve uh compilation album, you definitely did have some sort of like cool thing going on with the switching of or just like the chopping of the visuals. right?
Mhm.
Especially with the I don't know where it's from, but it's like with the girl like pacing around her room.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
cool. And you also had like what like Technoblade deserves it.
Yeah, bro. I know we got past the interview thing, but I thought all the intros to the stupid songs and phrases were cool.
It was I feel like oh shit, I was gonna kind of talk about the whole like names too of phrases. It was like how it was kind of like things that you kind of said that you and your friends said. And then you have the
Mhm.
samples going on, not like before the main track plays, right? You just have like clips from House, you have like from cartoons and shit. It's like, oh fuck, what did you sample? I'm trying to think of like
Literally name anything, bro. It might be a thing.
you sampled. Did you sample Adventure Time on that album?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
like, stay away from that. Do not do tier 15. And then I have no idea what you're talking about, man. It's like, down, down, boom, boom.
yes,
Yeah,
bro.
I didn't about that.
Okay, wait. How does Happy Birthday track 8 goes in the beginning? Oh,
I
you
don't think
didn't.
it has an intro.
There was no intro for Happy Birthday track 8. Oh my gosh. But speaking of this whole like Happy Birthday track thing, like what the fuck is going on? Because it's like some sort of like CD player moment with like the Dynamic Shroud, but you're just kind of having track that says Happy Birthday track, whatever. Fucking.
I meant to do a more serious thing since I realized I was making the emo album,
Mm-hmm.
but then I realized that was lame, and so that's the only. I think I'm on that comp for what's the label called? What's it called? I literally forgot what it was called.
I mainly only know like
Utopia
hip hop.
District.
Or which one?
Utopia District. I'm on that
Uh,
Utopia District.
oh
With
shit.
for Happy Birthday track 8.
Oh yeah, for the Valentine's Day comp?
Now I'm banned from their server. Please unban me, please.
Yeah,
But like
please.
I'm banned from the server, but they still let me on the console. I think it's pretty funny. And
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't even fit
sounds
the vaporwave genre, and they still put it on there anyway, which is actually a lot funnier.
yeah. I actually don't okay, first off, I haven't listened to the compilation. One, I barely listen to comps. Two, it's long as fuck. So uh I haven't actually or at least I don't remember how Happy Birthday Track 8 goes, but I know you also had one for among other things, which again, I feel like is one of those albums that could have been popular on TikTok or some shit. I feel like a lot of people
Ooh,
I feel like a lot of people would eat that shit up, bro. That's just me personally.
I think I could get away with putting that on the streaming. Is
Yeah.
anyone gonna listen to it?
Yeah, so far I've listened to it already.
Oh yeah, you did.
All right.
Oh yeah, because it's ambient. Ah, I see what you're doing.
It's not I don't okay, I don't listen to ambient like that, bro. As much as I would love to listen to ambient more, it's like I don't listen to ambient like that.
Yeah, I don't listen to vaporwave like that either.
Yeah, same, same. I love vaporwave
I was
and
joking.
okay,
I'm
nah,
sorry.
listen. I love vaporwave, right? But I'm low key like inconsistent when it comes to listening to it. There has been I've done a whole vapor month last year, and I'm hoping to do that for this year as well. But
Mm.
last year was just like mainly signal wave with some like slush wave and like other shit. That was actually like my first time getting into your music with Velvet Road.
Mm. Hey, there's this weird album with some guy holding a laser disc on your whatchamacallit thing. Can you like
Mhm.
take that off? The album's so lame, bro.
It's good, bro. I feel it's fire. But yeah, I'm hoping to. I don't think there's a specific I don't think there's gonna be like specific genres I want to get more into when it comes to vapor months. But I'm hoping for
Mm.
this year I could possibly get more into future funk or slush wave. So yeah. But we'll see what happens. This year's vapor month is gonna be in I think August, unless I'm wrong. Let me look back real quick. I'm not entirely sure. I have it written down, but I'm just like fucking misremembering. Vapor
If
month.
the months have any significance, you know, it would be really funny if you had them every September.
Every September. I think I had it October for last year. Yeah, yeah, October. Also, it was August. I was correct. Let's go. No one cares. No one cares about me.
I don't care.
Right, bro. Why my voice sounds like that? Oh shit.
You're doing a voice. What do you mean? Why does your voice sound like?
I don't know. That was just automatic. it wasn't even on purpose. Like, all right, bro. It's like, fuck, wait, hold on. I don't talk about that.
Yeah. Also, more phrases glazed, more phrases glazed.
More please.
Did you know that Sammy Boy's on it twice?
Oh yeah, I completely. Why did that slip my mind? I completely forgot you sampled like let me twice on there. One of them was the podcast episode, and the other was because I was like, "Hey, what if I talk into a mic and you could like sample me?" And then when I sent it, you were like, "Holy glaze!" It was like, "All right, bro."
I didn't
This-
want to be mean, but come on.
I mean, I is actually it is kind of funny. So
Hey, yo, shout out for the partner for Brendan. The song starts. I showed that to this girl, and she was like, "Wow, this is the music just for me." And she listens to Hamilton. I'm like, "Bro, I know you're lying. Like, I know
Lord
you're
have
lying
mercy.
directly to my face. You listen to Hamilton. You just got the Hamilton CD talking about something. This is the best purchase of my life, bro.
I
You're saying
just
some guy screaming into your ears about something about his girlfriend. Like you can't even like
last
tell what he's
summer.
talking about. Like nothing. Right, bro.
I just wanna
Last summer.
I just wanna say, my brother walked in and I muted the mic, so I'm so sorry for the silence.
Oh, you're good, bro. It happens to me all the time. Except I don't have a brother. I just have a mom.
Yeah. But, wait, you don't have siblings?
No.
Damn, bruh. I don't know if I should say you're lucky or not because siblings although they can get on your nerves though, but it's like the more or less it's like, yeah. Yeah, I fuck with you.
See, now I don't have to share any of my albums, and I can keep them all to myself.
Exactly.
guys, guys,
It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, I got food by the way. Shout out my brother for giving me food, right?
go get a job. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait, how do you not have a job yet? You're 18. Oh, wait, you're still in, no, you're not still
I'm
in, wait.
okay.
You might still be.
Listen, okay, yes, I am 18, right? Youngin, nephew. Okay, not seriously though.
Shut
Um,
up, punk.
all right. I'm doing a program that pays me. I don't call it a job, despite them paying me, because it's not really much of a actual like job, you know. It's a program that gets you to a job. So, but with the money I've gathered up, I'm glad that I've made some choices. Like I bought myself a new mic, uh again, CDs, all that shit, you know, just
Yeah, you
like
know all the essentials.
yeah, basically. CDs are definitely essential. Yeah,
Exactly, bro.
exactly.
Like, what happens when they take all your favorite music off of YouTube? Tell them about some copyright.
Exactly, bro. Also, if we're talking about like projects that aren't on streaming, right? Um
Mhm.
Yaya Yi, he's a South Korean hip hop producer, and he had like one of the best like hip hop experimental hip hop albums of all time, in my personal opinion. Problem
Mhm.
is, he seems to be like a crazy poster when it comes to like social media, and for some reason he just decided to take his shit off of streaming, and he went through this like sort of like phase or some shit where it's like he was like being hunted down by the CIA or Korean mafia.
They have those?
I would assume so. If he says it, it's like, oh, I don't know. He could be just like joking around or whatever the hell, mainly. But that is the thing that he kind of posted on. So it's like, what the fuck going on, bro? Shout out Yaya Yee.
Mm. Yeah, I have a like a hip hop guy I used to listen to too. Then he went crazy. You
Really?
wouldn't guess what his name was.
Is it does it rhyme with Wanye Cast?
How do you know?
It's
Yes, it does actually.
so stupid. It is so stupid, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I still sample him on phrases even after he went on Hitler mode.
Yeah, bro. You should release Wedding Day.
I, sh- I don't know about that, man. That's like all Kanye. Not
I'm
even that good of an album, to be honest with you.
yeah, you're right. I think I haven't listened to it in full because it's on YouTube mainly, but I know it's just like kind like chopped up like virtual DJ big grids was like Kanye samples. So
Mhm.
yeah, I still think that's a very like interesting like sort of style. I know we've talked about it like multiple times, but there hasn't really been all that much people who kind of implemented that sort of like. So I know Christ is like one of, if not the first person to actually kind of do that style of vapor. So
I think he is the first.
yeah, despite you saying, nah, I'm pretty sure there was someone else who did it before Christ.
I mean, still, there
Yeah.
are some bum in his room who's sitting there like, I think I just discovered gold. Time to post it on Reddit and then never hear about it again.
Exactly. Reddit, oh my gosh. I still don't have a Reddit account, and I don't know if I really want one, but I know you did kind of recommend me to do it from what I remember.
Yeah, don't get rid of that dude. You don't need one.
You don't need one. All right. But I know you have posted your shit. And it's like there's barely any people who actually listen to it, which it kind of sucks.
Maybe there's so many people who don't like it because it's not good. They gotta like switch genres or something.
Yeah, but you also like have a shit ton of like old projects that you've posted on there as well. I think there was like one Signal Wave one, which was like what 2-3 hours. I don't even remember.
Probably American Solace.
It was not American Solace. It was a completely different one. I don't even know
Uh,
if it's on YouTube. Let me actually go sneak on
what?
your channel real quick.
Maybe like one of the was I here.
Was Bruz, hold on.
Oh my.
Is it even on YouTube? Broadcast station? Is that one of them? Probably.
Yeah, broadcast stations on YouTube. You gotta scroll really far down. Yeah.
Amplitude?
AL Politics, yeah.
Amplitude. Okay. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. I don't know. There is definitely like a shit ton of stuff you could like actually you do what you feel like. Do what you feel like overall. Don't just be like, hey, you should do this or do this. Like have someone like over your fucking neck and just saying you should do this, that.
Trust me, dude. I take you guys. I actually take you guys as like advice and like suggestions seriously. I don't just I'm not listening. Like I actually listen to it.
Yeah. Um, so there has been an album. I don't know why I'm saying this like it's like some serious. There's this album that I've listened to, Marietta's Summer Death.
Oh, here we go.
It's just I know you haven't listened to it despite actually sampling one of the songs from it. Problem is that song is nowhere to be seen on streaming nor Bandcamp. And I'm just still here like why the like what's gonna happen with it, bro?
What is gonna happen with us? We're gonna redo it one day. You're gonna catch me and be like, "Hey, redo this song. Redo this song, nice fellow." And then I'm gonna be like, "Okay, I'm gonna redo it. I'm gonna send it to you indirectly, not even post anything, just to you as
You're
an
just
MP3 file." Like, okay.
bro, if on an MP3 for okay, bro.
You want wow?
Hey, bro, maybe I could post it on YouTube and shit, get all the views. Yeah, yeah.
I
Nah.
just claim it as your own, bro. Because when they're gonna be making an email, me just say, "I made this remix of Marietta." You're gonna
I'm
get so.
not. I listen. I'm not taking credit for what you made or anyone made, bro. I'm not that type of guy. Right? Matter
Bro,
of
you should do it.
fact, matter of fact, I don't know how many times I've mentioned Drum, but he, so okay, so before I bought FL, right, I thought it was an interesting idea to make Slush Wave. However, on Audacity, and I give it to someone for them to put slush wave effects on it, right? So,
Hmm.
despite what I just said, I gave it to Drum and said, "Do whatever the fuck you want with it, anyways." Right? I didn't actually say like that, but I just told him, "Hey, bro, you don't have to come back to me to tell you what to do. Do what you feel like is nice, right?" And
Yeah.
my original intention was that he's gonna put slush wave effects on it. He's not gonna do anything drastic, and that is exactly what he did. The drastic part, not the part that I was just saying. He did.
Oh.
He switched that song up to the point where it's like when I was listening to it, I was like, "Holy shit, he made this, bro!" Which of course he did make this. I mean, check out Skylines and Illusions by Lover's Dream if you haven't. Um, but when I listened to it and then he was like, "Hey, you want the WAV file for it?" It's like, nigga, at this point, I don't even think I want because it was like he said, okay, so it was like a remix, but the
Hmm.
thing is, because of how different it was, compare it sounded like he just used the original sample. It didn't even sound like he was kind of going back to the main foundation that I like created with the chopped up sample or anything like that. So I was like, I can't get credit off this, right? Then he was like, bro, just release it. It's like, all right. So I did. But the thing is that once I got FL, I was like, I'm gonna have to remake the one I did because I can't do this. And I did. So yeah, that's it.
It's calm. It's calm.
Yeah.
Or didn't you want me to remix a song of yours?
That is true. Well, yes. Yes, I did, but there was also times where I made something and it was like, yeah, can I make this? Can I remix this? It was like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, bro. I don't care if people. I would love if people would sample my music.
Exactly.
If I would be like, bro,
I'm sorry.
right.
Go ahead, go
No, no,
ahead.
no. I'm not saying bro to you. Like I like angrily. Just what were you saying?
Yeah. I was gonna say that you know me, I've tried doing that with like I forgot which song. I think it was obviously something off of I Had Dreams, and I tried doing that in Ritual DJ. But it's like,
We got a
yeah,
chance to breathe.
yeah. If I get a chance to read, that song is so fucking dumb, bro. I actually
I think it's good.
I actually don't know the original band, or at least I don't remember. I know
Marietta.
that was Marietta?
Yes,
Oh
bro.
my god. Wait, which album was that from?
Probably Summer Death.
It was not Summer Death, bro. If it was, I would have known.
We got Marietta #1 fan over here.
Mine again. I've only listened to Summer Death, bro. Don't do that. Oh my
I
god,
know
bro.
exactly what DDS song this is when hearing a reverse 1 second clip of it with heavy reverb and distortion.
Okay, right. Okay, right. But like there's also like Main Horse where you like on Freaking Out. Freaking Out was fucking like a great track as well. So yeah. Uh yeah, I'm hoping like more people actually do check out the shit that you're making because it's genuinely like it's great, bruh.
Thank
Like
you, bro.
I I hope I genuinely hope like more people like do check it out. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's like your style or styles is so unique, and I'm still so surprised that people have barely kind of discovered it, or if people have discovered it, they're just like, "Oh, this is cool," and then just never come back to it. Like there is like a shit ton of like potential like in like what you're doing, and I feel like a lot of people should definitely kind of look up to like the shit that you make is like, you know what, yeah, I could do that, and then a whole new movement in the vaporwave scene just flourishes.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
bro.
that's like the plan. That's like the hope, bro.
Yeah,
I thought
bro.
it was gonna happen. I'm gonna go like to college or like drop out of high school or something, and then be like,
Yeah, i just I just
oh,
wa- I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just saying that I would love to make something in similar style and similar vein. At this moment, despite you giving me the drum packs, actually, it's just that that shit is hard. It's that shit is hard, bro.
yes, it's not hard, bro. After the podcast, or should even during the podcast, bro, hit me up. I can tell you how to make it, depending on
Okay.
the song.
Okay, we could literally do it after if you're available to.
Yeah, bro.
Okay. But yeah, I think this is a good time to end the podcast. We've been recording for 2 hours. This has been such
Man.
a this has been a wonderful discussion. This has been something that I've been wanting to talk to Furthermore for a while, considering that I literally started bumping his music with like Velvet Road back in 2024, and I was just like, yeah, yeah, I definitely see something, right? Because like from the jump, he's definitely interested me, but it was like, oh my gosh, wait, he makes like very interesting vaporwave, and he's black. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Thank you for the glaze, Sammy boy.
Oh my gosh, bro. I'm sorry. No, why am I saying
But no,
sorry?
seriously, thank you for having me on, bro.
No problem, bruh. I hope a lot of people would look at this and actually check out your shit, bruh, because your shit is underrated. And again, I'm so confused at why people aren't checking out your shit. But yeah. So for those listening, thank you for listening or watching or whatever the fuck with this podcast. Please go check out For Departing for his music. He released Phrases which is 2 hours and 30 minutes of this emo wave style. But if you want something different, well, he has plenty of more albums, right? My personal favorite from him has been I Had Dreams, which came out this year as well. But again, go check out whatever, right? He's prolific as fuck. Before we end off officially, do you have anything else to say for the Merver?
Check out Sammy Boy stuff too, bro. You know, thank you for having me on. See, I'm like this closer to like getting like where all the like the big people are, bro. I'm on the same podcast as Christ, bro. That's insane. Thank you for having me on, and thank you for you know like being interested in I Had Dreams, bro. You know, that was my first release of 2025. So a big special like sentiment release to me. Thanks for being interested, and thank you for listening.
No
And
problem.
one last thing for the viewer.
Mm.
Um, do you have Yuri?
Yuri.
Yeah, like okay, you don't have Yuri, then maybe you if you have Ligma, you know what Ligma is?
Oh my gosh, bro. We're ending it. We're ending it. We're not gonna continue. Seriously
You
though.
have a Ligma.
All right. Seriously though, go check out For Departing for stuff. Thank y'all for listening. Uh I love y'all. Hope y'all have a good day, good night wherever y'all are. I love y'all. See you later. Peace.
Gizzy. I hope you ended the thing, otherwise it's gonna have to mute me.
No, I'm keeping that. I'm keeping that part. People are gonna listen to that part, bro.